anyone from Mexico here?
Sí, yo estoy de México. Yo estoy
Tú
de
no eres
todo
de
el país.
Mexico, Sean. Sean, you're not from Mexico. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone.
Well, there we go, folks. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Want to welcome you to this episode 440, full 40 in the house, May 5th, 2020. It is the Daily Misfit Awakening Call, where we join together here as a community of individuals who join together to create one idea, one concept, just one unit of happiness, of health, of joy, of all of those things that allows us to do more, be more, have more. So as we get started this morning, I want to read something to us. It's a poem by, let me see here, go back to my journal, by Timothy Keller. And this says, "To be known but not loved is our greatest fear. But to be fully known and truly loved, well, that's a lot like being loved by God. It is what we need more than anything. It liberates us from pretense, humbles us out of our self-righteousness, and fortifies us for any difficulty life can throw at us. To be known but not loved is our greatest fear, but to be fully known and truly loved, well, that's a lot like being loved by God." I say that this morning because you've made it. You've made it. You're here. Now what? To be fully known is to share your story. To be fully known and fully loved, that's only a handful of us are ever lucky enough to know that. And it's not because we do something to earn it. It's because we give up something to allow it. Too many times we're working to do something to get something. When we sit quietly and we begin to allow it, it fills us. The next time it rains in your area, can you stop it? Can you complain about it? Can you go out and dance at it? The next time the sun comes out, can you stop it? Can you go out and sit in it and realize each of those are there for your joy? You're an amazing soul. The courage you have today, right now, to wake up into the unknown. You woke up into the unknown today. There's nothing that you know about today that is in your memory. Think about that for just a second. Nothing from this moment forward is in your memory. You're operating in the frontier. Right? If you think about the Wild West, the frontier was that place where people went out and it was the unknown. And then there's the plains, the area between the known and the unknown. And then there's the safety of home. Right now, in this moment, depending upon which way you look, you can look back into the plains or turn and be looking into the frontier. The frontier gets messy. Some of our lives might be smack dab in the middle of the frontier. Messy as fill in the blank. Good morning, Seema. I love you so much too. If that was for me. Could have been to a secret admirer. Each of you are wild frontier gatherers. If you stand facing the frontier, if you stand facing the unknown with your arms wide open and your back as strong as iron, you can't get knocked down. You can't get run over. But some of us turn to the frontier with a timidness of, am I good enough to be out here? Do I deserve this opportunity that's laid before me? Right? I go back to that phrase in the Bible. I lay before you life and death. Why would it need to give us a cheat code? Right? Could you imagine the Bible having a cheat code? Choose life. When I was little, growing up, and we used to read the magazines at the doctor's office, they were actually written on stone tablets. Let's see who gets that. I see Stay laughing. Good. I'm glad somebody got it. So they never had to worry about putting them in the file, in the thing on the wall, because nobody could carry the stone tablets away. The cheat code for the little puzzles that we used to have, it would say, in real tiny writing, answers on page 56, and you'd have to turn the book upside down. The Bible didn't even make us have to turn the page. It said it right there. I lay before you life and death. Choose life. You're standing on the frontier. It's going to get messy. Choose life. Find your community of people who will stand around you, who will lift you up, who will bring you joy, who will say, keep going. And then maybe, listen carefully, maybe, quite possibly, if you listen just quiet enough, there's a voice out there in the middle of nowhere that says, it's okay. I'll guide you. And that's your future self. That's your future dreams. That's the you that's standing in joy. That's the you that's standing in glory. That's the you that's standing there saying, I got you. I've gotten you this far. I got you. And then you hear that big voice. It'll be all right. And that's the guiding voice. That's the voice that sits in your gut. That's the voice that comes from down deep inside of you. That's the voice that resonates from the very center of centers of your heart that says, I am good enough. I didn't make you to be better. I made you to be the best you can be. Some of you carry scars that when they get seen, they become sexy. They become intriguing. They become inviting. They become that thing that makes you so special, so unique. But the weight of what you've been using to cover them up with, it's daunting. It's what slows you down. It's what keeps you from your glory. It's what keeps you from not your fame, but your ability to become famous because of all of the people you've saved. Listen carefully. There's 131 people on here right now. I want the world to build a statue to you. Not because of what you think you do well, but because what the world knows you've done. Imagine what it takes in your world that you leave such a legacy that people build a statue to you. And here's the fun part. It's the example of what to do in life. Because as far as I know, in the good book, there's usually a couple of stories. There's the words in red and there's the words in black. And one's some of the things to do and the other one's some of the things to not to do. Jim Rohn said it, a handful of things done on a daily basis will help you win. A handful of things neglected will help you lose. To be known but not loved is our greatest fear. But to be fully known and truly loved, well, that's a lot like being loved by God. Have you felt that in the past? Have you known what that's like to be truly loved? Have you known what it's like to truly love? A niece, a nephew, a child, a puppy. Have you known what it's like to be in that state to where nothing else matters? To where every ounce of what you have can be poured into them, can be poured into that. One of the things when I talk to moms and mentoring moms in my organization, I'll always ask them, do you remember the first time you got the flower handed to you? It could have been a weed. It could have been a dandelion with all of the little white head, and you're like, oh gosh, if they blow on that, that's going to go everywhere in the house, right? All of these little, do you remember the first time you got the flower handed to you? Yeah, they're always weeds. Because in a child's eye, everything is beautiful. Can you gaze upon the world with the eyes of a child today? Can you show up? Oh no, I'm getting so emotional. Can you show up with the joy of childlike wonder today? Can you be ready to be overwhelmed with a smile? Maybe life is absolutely in a crushing state right now on you. That's the enemy telling you that. That's the enemy saying, you're not good enough. Welcome home. You're good enough. We need you. We don't need you to be better than you can be. Just be good enough for you, to be enough for you on this day, in this moment. There is nobody who can do you better. Don't compare. There's nobody who can do as better than you. There's nobody who can do as good as you. In this moment, you belong. In this moment, you are as precious as all of the jewels of the world. Because somebody can look at you. Somebody can look at you and say, you are enough. Good morning, Misfits. I hope you're doing well.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Steph. So if you've got some questions or comments, I'd love to go ahead and just dive right into that. Start hearing your hearts, seeing what we can do to be of honor and joy and privilege to you. Thank you all for being here. I'd have you look at the clock wherever you're at. Look at the time, because from this moment forward, life will never be the same. You're entering into the unknown. Yes, good morning.
Can we say happy birthday to Bob first?
Okay, yes, to who?
Bob.
Is it
It's
today?
his birthday.
Is today Bob Parks' birthday? Absolutely.
Yes. Happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday.
Bob.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
OG. OG Bob.
Happy birthday.
Thank you all.
Happy
Thank you all.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Many more years to come.
Thank you very much.
Birthday.
Happy birthday, Bob.
My stars are really lining up today. Not only is my birthday on Cinco de Mayo, but today's Taco Tuesday, and we got a virus named after a Mexican beer. What more could a guy want? Thank you very much.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Alex has his hand up. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Sean. Good morning. How are you doing?
Outstanding, brother.
Outstanding. Yep. Glad to hear that. Kind of the question's kind of off topic. It's regarding meditation. I actually meditated this morning. I was thinking about all this, and kind of meditation for me kind of shifts. Like some days I may be visualizing the future, right? Some days like today, I was just thinking about this and recalling some older scenes, just like randomly popping up. So I was just wanting to ask a question, like, does meditation change as you progress and practice it, or what's gonna happen? I don't know.
So yes, have you ever gone from a room full of light into a room that's completely dark?
Yeah.
Right? And depending upon how bright the light was, it took time for you to adjust to the darkness.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
that's it.
meditation.
Yeah.
Because once you are clear, you can see in the dark.
Yeah. That's probably it. Thank you, Sean. As always, I love you to the moon and back.
Appreciate. Love you,
Yep.
brother. Thanks for being here. Let's see here. Who's next got their hand up? Bukumi. Y'all ready for some fun? Pay attention to this conversation. Bukumi, good morning.
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Outstanding, my love.
I wanted to ask, please. Oh, and everyone else, I'm so sorry. I
Oh,
forgot to say
but
good morning and
Bukumi-
happy birthday to Bob as well.
Happy birthday to Bob. Bukumi, hang on just a second. By the way, folks, I'm excited. You know why I'm extraordinarily excited? Not only because Bukumi's talking, but because I think we've had our first hater in the group, and I just had to remove them. So I'm excited because if you ain't got haters, you ain't pushing the envelope. So cool.
Yeah, way to go, Sean.
Wow.
Wow.
How could anyone hate you? That is so weird.
Well, it's not me. It's not me. It's the reflection. It's the sound that's vibrating back in their heart that echoes in their mind that causes them to go, because he's like, stop preaching. Nobody can understand you. I hate all of you. I'm like, wow. I'm glad he didn't know how to take off the private because he sent all that to me. So cool. Good morning, Bukumi.
Good morning. Good morning. I really love what you said this morning, and I was literally writing everything down. But I wanted to ask, please, how do you get to I know it's affirmations, but how do you get to a place where you truly believe what you're saying to yourself?
Excellent
Like,
question.
is there like a time? Is there like a time? I don't like. I'm quite impatient. Like, I want things to be done like this. Like, so every time I'm saying it to myself, I believe I'm saying it. I believe in what I am saying, but it's like I'm not believing in what I'm saying at the same time.
True.
Like a conflict.
So here's the question. What would happen? What would change in your life? And I'm adding the pause in there because your brain is actually freaking out right now. What would happen if you believed your words?
I don't even know. I would feel a lot better about myself.
So if you felt a lot better about yourself, how would you know that? What would
The
change?
way I would carry myself would be a lot better.
Okay. So would being a lot better be okay?
Yeah.
So what would have to change for you to believe your words to have yourself feel better, love yourself more?
I feel like I would have to release what other people have said about me.
Okay. So what could we release so that there could be just one more ounce of belief? What ounce of disbelief can we let go of today? Can you set down? Can you leave on that table in front of you and let the world pick up so that we can add 1 ounce of belief? What thing do you know it's not true about you? What truth do you have to set down about you that you know is not true, but you've been carrying it because it's been a weight somebody put upon you?
Oh. Okay. Should I say it here?
Sure. No, well, you could wait and then be in misery for the rest of the day.
Okay. Okay. So, so I remember I feel like, okay. So it's like a thing of like, a lot of people have said before that I'm too naive and I trust people too much.
Okay.
And I don't know. And when they say it, I don't know if they're coming from a good place or if it's a fact of I'm too kind.
I
don't know.
Let's hold on to that right there, because you said something that's important. You said, I don't know if they're coming from a place. Here's the question. From what place are you listening? Here's a funny thing. Let me relieve some pressure for you. Bukumi, I don't know if you've looked, but you are white. Might not really. Do you? I mean, it's like, okay, something wrong with his eyes.
That really took me off guard.
Because you can only hear yourself from this black, beautiful goddess that you are that sits in joy, right? So the question is not where they're coming from when they give their interpretation of you, because that's all anybody's conversation is about you. It's their interpretation of you. It's actually their memory that you have synced in time and space with them that have aligned them to sit in their place to see you. And are they ever seeing the original you?
No.
The amount of time it takes for your energy to get to me, if I'm sitting next to you, is a split tenth of a second. So I'm always seeing a copy. No one is ever as privileged as you to see the original. Why do we sit in a place to when they say you're naive, you're too nice to people? We have to sit and listen to a history lesson. Because that's who you may have been. That's not who you are in this moment.
Whoa.
So are you willing to sit in the moment and let people be as goofy as they can? Let people be as silly as they can. Let people see the piece of art that was, because they'll never see the original Bukumi. But now you may be kind to keep them, to allow them to stay in the gallery of your history. But imagine if you step out and you step forward. At some point, they're going to go, where did she go? And in the where did she go moment, and when you step out and to be the original you are, is it okay if you trust you?
Yeah.
So if you say right now in this moment, I love me.
I love me.
Where do you feel that? And it may not show up anywhere. It may have just been sound in your ears.
Yeah, I didn't feel that at all.
Okay, so let's say it again. I love me.
I love me.
I love your accent.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, the universe will sometimes throw this in. This is a perfect example. Kiwi, thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here. Listen carefully. I want you all to pay attention to what just happened. All too often, we will allow the universe to distract us from a moment of awakening. Our bodies, our energy, the law of attraction is so powerful. Listen carefully. The law of attraction is so powerful that even the negative state of us can attract and can cause the universe to cause your Zoom signal to cut out, can cause power outages, can cause all of these things. And in the moment, Abraham Maslow said, be independent of the good opinion of other people. And Kiwi, with all of her joy and all of her life and all of her heart, wanted to relieve the stress that one person is going through and said, I love your accent. And in that distraction, Bukumi went, whew, I had to stop loving me. I'm cool with that. There's nothing wrong with the distraction. The challenge is too many people too many mentors that we call mentors who probably, anyways, don't get me on that path. Too many people that would be leading this conversation would be, see, Bukumi, people love you. That's not the conversation she was having. She was having the one that said, I love me. And in I love me, I become nervous. I become a little hesitant. So Bukumi say, and you all can be doing this. Listen, I hope you all are doing this in your own rooms, in your own moments right now, because this isn't a petri dish. We're watching an experiment unfold. This is your life happening right in front of you.
I love. Sorry.
That's okay. Listen,
Ah.
so I would
Oh my
encourage
God.
you to work on this. I would encourage you to
Okay.
sit there and say, I am enough. You know we love you.
It's so much easier to tell other people that I love them than me
It
tell
is.
myself I love me.
So this is why they say you're naive. It's not because you're naive about others. You're naive about you.
Wow. Oh,
So where are you feeling this right now?
I don't know. I feel it all. I feel it all over.
So this is an awakening. Have you ever slept on your arm or sat on your leg or did something and you're like, pins and needles? That's what this is. This is what your body feels when it awakens. This is what your body feels when it starts to come to life. This is what your heart feels when it starts to take its first stride. This is what your body feels like when it starts to live to its full potential, when you start to reach for the stars and become what you were put here for. You were not put here to be naive. You were not put here to be kind to others. You were put here to lead others to a level of kindness they've never known. See, there's two ways for sound to go, to come in and to go out. And the sound that you've been listening to has been coming in. It's time for you to resonate in the world. It's time that you stand in your own 2 feet. It's time that your heart starts to sing its potential, and that you start to reach for the stars, and that you start to stand up tall and stand up strong. Do you know the position, the Wonder Woman position? Have you seen that TED Talk?
No, I've not seen the TED Talk.
So what I want you to do, I want you to just go where you're standing, and I want you to just stand there, and I want you to stand up like this.
Sorry. Okay. Oh my God.
Ladies, if any of you want to do that, please do that. They have showed the psychological change that happens in the brain. Stand up and you stand tall. You stand up and you stand like that. Put your legs apart. Put your legs a little bit farther apart. There you go. Stand in your strength. Stand in your glory. You stand there. Yeah, your body is like, what is going on?
Yes, man.
Oh my God.
You stand there. You let the pages turn. You don't worry about the pages blowing off. You stand there with your hands on your hip, and you know that you are absolutely the queen of your world. No, stand tall, Bukumi. Don't have that head tilted. You stand tall. Do you feel it? Yes.
Yes.
Legs a little farther apart. You stand tall. This isn't about you being weak. There you go. No. Put them farther apart. This is your body awakening. There you go. You stand there. You stand there and let us look at this gift to this world.
Oh my God.
This is you waking up.
Woo.
Listen, you all can do this.
Sean,
can I say something?
Please go ahead, Steph.
Hi. I just wanted to say, I remember you telling me about this a few months ago, and I remember I felt similar to what she's feeling. You know, it felt weird because we're not used to doing that. And maybe just a little thing that helped me. If you have a specific song that, you know, you feel is powerful to you. Like for me, what I do in the morning, I listen to the song Conqueror by Estelle. Have my eyes closed and literally stand in that pose and just listen to that song. And I feel powerful just listening to that song.
You can sit down, Bukumi.
But that's something that helped me doing that. And then I really could feel it, because if I would just stand there and just do that, I would feel funny. But having that song in my ears and my headphones, having my eyes closed and just listening to the lyrics of the song because it was so powerful, and then standing in that pose, it gave the whole thing like another feeling for me personally. So try it out. Like think of a song that you feel like is powerful to you because of the lyrics, you know, and just put your headphones on and close your eyes and just stand in that pose through the whole song. That's what did it for me. Like so for me, as I said, for me it's the song Conqueror, because it's just, to me, it's powerful. just the lyrics. So find a song that, you know, goes to you and just try it with that. Just a suggestion.
And the thing that makes that so powerful is that music guides us. This is what drives us at a cellular level. Music can move us in our soul. So if that's the case, if music can get Steph to stand there and listen to Conqueror and be totally motivated and vibrate at a whole new level, the question then becomes, what are you listening to when you take the headphones off? Do you hear the F word? Do you hear the B word? Do you listen to music that degrades women? Not you personally. I'm talking about everybody. Do we get off the call and we get around our homies and we go, yo, dude, man, she's fine, blah, blah, blah. And you degrade women and you degrade life. You wonder why life is so miserable? Think about the other 8 minutes, 80 minutes, 8,000 minutes of your life that you spend in disrespect to the world around you. Pakumi,
Wow.
say, I love me.
I love me.
Are you starting to feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See that? You are. I can hear it. I can hear it in your voice. We can hear it in your voice. Say, I love me.
I love me.
Yes. I love you. You're enough.
Love you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Steph, as well. Thank you so much.
Sean,
My pleasure.
Go ahead.
it's Jose.
Hey, Jose.
How are you today?
Good.
Listen, I would like to say something. This is I don't know. I have 2 days that I haven't been feeling well at all, because the thing is that I have this tremendous amount of positive energy going on for weeks, especially because of the opportunity that I just got from Nano with this marvelous business that I am in love with and that I know that I'm going to be successful in. But I'm facing a challenge, and it's really, really uncomfortable. I've been that amount of positive energy is being dragged by some people around me that don't believe in network marketing, that don't believe in you know, and I don't think they even believe in self-development, because I am always developing myself mentally, reading, and it's like it bothers them to see me in such a great energy. It's like it bothers them to see me going through such a good feeling, and that's really sad, because I mean, I'm feeling that's dragging my energy. I have to admit it. Yesterday I felt like crap, and today I'm feeling that I need to go for a bike ride. Otherwise, I don't know what my day's going to be like.
Okay.
A little bit of advice, because honestly, it's not easy. I'm a strong man. You know, I'm very, very positive. I have a lot of knowledge about being and maintaining myself and keeping myself with that positive energy. But, you know, it's like very uncomfortable, man. I feel dragged by this people who are trying to drag my energy and keeping me away from doing what I feel blessed doing, you know, which is
So you spend some time with Bob Proctor, right? I think he's doing a lot of training for you all.
Yeah, I definitely do.
So do you remember the place where he says, if you want to be rich, don't talk to the poor?
Absolutely, yes, I remember that.
So if you want to be happy, don't talk to the downtrodden. And what I mean by that is, do you realize, are the people that are pulling you down, that are not against you, are they in your room right now?
They're not right now, no.
So then you're having an argument with a thought, and the thought is winning. Pay close attention. Pay close attention. You're having a conversation with a thought of something that's not even in the room, that's something that's not even there physically, beating you up, and it is kicking your ass.
I admit it.
So that's okay. So guess what the favorite word of Jim Rohn was? Until. It's going to kick your ass until. When does the until moment happen?
Till you let it?
As soon as you make the decision. As soon as you make the decision to let that down, and you look at them and say, "Aw, they're stuck." Is it your responsibility to convince them how good personal development is? Is it your responsibility? No. So then here's the thing. Get out of their ears and get into their eyes.
Absolutely.
And just start doing it. choose when that shows up. When that shows up and that energy shows up, say, I choose to not accept that. You do not have to catch their negativity. You do not have to catch the things that are happening. You do not have to. But here's the thing. In your good heart, in your good desire to save them, you're being lost at sea. You're the lifeguard going out to save 8 people. How many people can a lifeguard save if there's 8 people drowning?
1 or 2.
Maybe 1, maybe 2, if they're knocked out, because if either one of them are awake, they will drown you in a heartbeat. And that's what's happening here. You haven't knocked them out.
Oh my God.
The second you knock them out, you no longer need a bike ride. You're always on your bike ride. The second that you let their words come to you and turn you into motivation, so you're using it as an anchor. I use that as fuel. It's going to come at you. The wind will come at you. The wind will either hit you broadside and flip you over as a ship, or you adjust your sail and you speed farther away. And all of a sudden, the sounds become quiet in the distance. And you start to hear the water on the bow of the boat. And you're like, this is what freedom sounds like. The wind in your ears as you ride the bike, the music that plays, when you lean back, if you, 10 speed, and you lean back and you sit there and you can do this on your bike. You can do that right now in your room.
Yes.
This story, the reason that the old story comes up is says, listen, I hope somebody wants to complain with me. I hope somebody wants to jump down in the pit with me. Listen, I'll jump down in the pit with you and stand right next to you and go, what the hell are you doing here? You've been in this pit before and you've been out of this pit before. I was looking for you on the mountaintop. What are you doing down here? You told me you were going to the mountain. What are you doing here? Caesar said, let the dead bury the dead.
Exactly.
This isn't your time to bury the dead. This is your time to stand out front and lead the army.
Thank you.
John, can I add something to that?
You can.
Bro, I'll tell it to you in Dominican.
Hey, how are you, Luis? How you doing?
Very good, bro. Very good. So
we were chatting the other day on Instagram, remember?
Yes, of course I remember, bro.
That's great, man. I admire you, man. Your energy is amazing.
Thanks,
I really see you as a very successful young entrepreneur. You have it all, brother. I've been following you for weeks, and you are encouraging. I mean, you're definitely something else, man.
So listen to this, bro, and I'll tell you in a minute. Suelta esa vaina. Tienes por qué hacerle caso a la energía negativa de nadie. Look at this. 4th spiritual law of success. Renounce to defending your point of view. You don't gotta convince nobody about how you think. You know what's on your mind, bro. You know. You're bigger.
Exactly.
So why would you get upset? Why would you let someone's bad vibe take you down? A strong man that's been studying for years. There's
Absolutely.
no point, bro.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. You're totally right. But sometimes, we're humans. We're weaker.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to go to the place that sharpens our saw.
Yes. Exactly.
And so when we do that, that's courage. Listen, dude, the courage you had to ask the question, Jose, is more than the courage it takes for them to pull you down. So congratulations.
Luis, they're asking for your Instagram. Throw it in there because you people want to follow this kid. This kid is amazing. You guys are gonna like
Please
him.
do. Need that energy.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Can you also drop the link to your I know you have a
mastermind
one of these as well. Yeah, please.
Yeah, definitely.
I couldn't find the words.
Check out our boy Luis. On la isla de Encanta, todo el mundo quiere.
You know what I see in Luis? I see a 60-year-old man in the body of a 20-year-old with the mindset.
Well, these are Sean's words coming through me, so it better be 54-year-old,
That's right. This is my mini me.
Honestly, it's amazing the things you come up with, man, and that greatness you have within yourself, Luis. I admire you, kid, man. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. I'm here for you. I'm here for all of you. You're my family here.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Hey, let's go to Ann. Where's my? I want to hear this. Y'all listen to this. Good morning.
Good morning, Sean.
There it was. Makes my day. Good morning, Ann.
How are you today?
Outstanding, my love.
Excellent.
Me. There's my little red dude again.
Go ahead, Ann.
So my not problem, I don't want to say problem. The thing that I've been feeling for the past few days is a bit similar to who just talked?
Jose.
So like for a week and a half, I've been feeling so great. I'm, positive. I've been helping my family get positive. And then yesterday, I just had a day where like my body was just like, no. I barely had the energy to get up. I was still trying to do like my gratitude and my affirmations, but like my brain stopped believing it. And then I started questioning. I know it's my old story. And I started questioning everything that I built for the past couple of weeks. And then like, I literally had a day where I was like, right, I'm not going to focus on anything. And I just did what I used to do. So like I watched all the, reality TV shows, which I know is not great for my mind. I watched like films that I normally don't watch and etc. And then
go ahead.
And then this morning I woke up and I was able to get back into that, back into that attitude of being positive and, doing all the things that are better for me. But I just don't know why I went into that place and if I'll ever go back into that place, because I know I'm human, but it's just like I just did not like being in that place. It was very uncomfortable. I didn't want to go back, but like my body I felt like was pulling me back.
So I don't
Same
know.
thing that's happening to me.
So I don't know, Ann, if you've ever been bullied. Do you ever have kids in school, and maybe you weren't bullied all the time, but maybe you were picked on? Do you ever get picked on for something, right?
I wouldn't say I was bullied by kids, but mostly by family.
Okay. So here's the thing. What does a bully want?
For you
to know they're in charge.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in our brain. The bully shows up. So what if the bully shows up? What if the mean dog shows up? Instead of you running, how could you calm down the mean dog? You just throw him a piece of meat. So here's what Lynn Grabhorn in her book, which I thought was one of the most brilliant books. I wish she was still with us. But Lynn Grabhorn in her book, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. Isn't that just the greatest of all times? Excuse me, your life is waiting.
Wow. Okay.
She says, picture your joy, right? We hear Sadhguru say joy and misery. We hear the Bible say life and death. We hear Bob Proctor talk about affirmations, and we hear Noah St. John talk about afformations. We hear everybody talk about this polarity in life, good versus evil. So here's the thing. Lynn Grabhorn says, if you're going to go down the hole, go down the damn hole. Don't hover around the edge of it. Don't think, oh, I don't want to go down there. Look how good I am. You're getting sucked in. Go. If you're going to have a bad day, go eat 2 quarts of ice cream and 3 packs of Oreos.
Are you serious?
Listen, if you're going to go down the hole, go, because what happens is the misery's never hard enough for you to say, I choose to never do that again. You've not drawn a line in the sand. You've not made a decision. Decision means to cut off. Michael Jordan said, once I decided, I never had to think about it again. When we go down to these places, when I say I choose, when I was 14 and I chose to never have another bad day, I can count on maybe both of my hands in the last 50 years, 40 years that I've had a bad day. Because I made a decision. I choose not to. You want to throw shit at me? Oh, look at how it goes with my pants. This is cool.
Is there ever a day where you kind of don't do anything, but still call it a good day. And when I mean don't do anything, I mean business-wise, whatever other projects you've got going on as well.
So it's rare that I do anything in business.
Okay.
It's rare that I do anything in business. I'm not a good business person. It's often that I build people.
I can see that.
Can I add something to what you guys just were talking about?
Please. Good morning. Hey, Naomi.
Good morning, Sean. You was talking about, right, the eating and the cookies. I used to have a binge eating disorder, right? So it got to the place where I would eat so much that I would feel ill. So once I did make that decision that I'm not going to ever do it again, since then it hasn't been happening. So making that decision or going to the point where you are going to be fed up is very, very powerful. Like, it's hurtful in that moment, but it's going to essentially get you to exactly where you want to be. So what Sean said made a lot of sense. When he said that, I was like, damn, I remember that point in my life where I did that, you know?
Yeah, but don't you have days where, like, you still want to eat crap? So you eat healthily every single day. Like, there's no day where you feel like, oh, I'm just going to have, you know, a burger, fries, drink.
It's balance. Because with a binge eating disorder, it's not just eating unhealthy, it's eating a big amount of food in like a few minutes. It's to that point where you want to throw up and you can't. So that's a whole different level. But of course, I mean, especially women, we have times where it's like, oh, I really want ice cream or cookie, whatever the case may be. I do that, right? But now I know my boundaries of having one piece of cake is healthy or having one milkshake is healthy, but not eating like, you know, excessive amounts. So I think it's about balance. So sometimes when you feel down and you know it's going to help you, like yesterday I had a milkshake because I knew it was going to help me. For the rest of the day, I felt good. But I'm not going to go back to ever feeling like food is the only thing that's going to help me. So you have to see, I would say you have to see what helps you and what is destroying you, if that makes sense.
So, Anne, here's the challenge. You're having good days.
Yeah.
And then you seem to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Could it be possible that if you were reading a book, that the first 3 chapters are good, and then the fourth, no matter, every time you get to the 4th chapter, it's just, it's like, oh my God, this is a train wreck. And then you read the next 3 chapters. Oh, this is glorious. And then this is the 4th chapter. The challenge is that's what's happening right now with you having these breakthroughs, is you're adding a chapter in between, but now the next chapter, the chapter of crap, seems to be bigger, seems to be stronger, seems to be one that takes your legs out for longer. The question is that go back to the moment. Do you know what a sunrise looks like, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what a sunset looks like?
Yeah.
If I awoke you at the moment that the sun was at the horizon, could you tell the difference between a rise and a set?
Yeah.
Okay. So then the question is which one of you is the state of rising? Is the rising going into this world of hurt and harm? And maybe you're only a rising for a short time, or is that the sunset? Do you know the moment with which this started? See, the challenge is we wake up and all of a sudden we're in the dark and we go, how the hell, when did this happen? There had to be a transition. There's always a transition. I would encourage you to look at what is the transition that got you out of this? What is the ladder that gets you out of the hole? And then what's the slide that gets you down to the bottom where you're at? When you go, this sucks. There was a moment where it didn't suck. There was a moment where it was, this is change. And yet it hides itself. It masks itself in us being in service. It masks itself in us feeling like we're in lack of service. And all of a sudden we wind up in the lack of nothing. And we're like, how in the good graciousness did we wind up here? And you're like, look at this. I'm in the pit. You walked into the pit. If you're in joy, you walk into the pit. Nobody drug you there. And this is for everybody. Nobody puts us in the pit. I help you get out. I awaken you. I give you a hand up. Your friends give you a hand up. The other misfits give you a hand up. When you're out, it is your choice to go back. The challenge is we have no idea of the choice. because it happens with such, the enemy will mask it in glory. The anemone. What am I, like Nemo? I can't define the anemone. That it will mask itself in this. I'm of service. I'm of high gratitude, but it's the transition of you into the pit. So I would encourage you, go back or start today. So right now in this moment,
Yeah.
would you say you're in joy or you're in misery?
I'm in joy.
So if you're in joy, be aware of the darts that come to try to take you out of joy. And when you start to become aware, see, they only come one at a time in the beginning. And then like in the movies, does anyone remember, some of you are way too young for it. What was the one, Ghost? Was it Ghost where Patrick Swayze was in that? Is that the one? Okay.
With Demi Moore?
Yes.
Yes, Ghost.
So
I
Ghost.
saw that movie.
So
Yeah.
do you remember when the shadows would start to show up? And then all of a sudden one would show up and then there'd be other ones. And then when they grabbed the person after they died and they would grab them, one would grab them, then they all would grab them. That's what happens to us. When one grabs us, when one negative thought grabs us, we're like, oh, that's not bad. And then another one grabs us. And all of a sudden it's like instantly they all grab us. And when 24 hours, we go from joy to misery. And it's like, how the heck did I get here? And then we go, this sucks. It's like, wait a minute. All you have to do is shake them off, is find your energy, is stand up and stand strong. Play your conqueror song. Get yourself in joy. You're responsible for your place on the planet, not where somebody puts you. Nobody can put you any place you don't allow. So good news is, Anne, here's the great news. When you had the courage and joy to speak up the very first time, to share your energy with us, to let us fall in love with you, you gave us a chance to see the Anne and to hear the story of Anne that few people hear, few people know. And you've had these amazing days. Here's the great news. You now recognize the no good days. And in recognizing them, can you decide they're not part of your future story?
Yeah.
Because now the next question is Anne, I love you. Do you have more to do?
Do I have more to do what on this planet?
Yes, anything. Do you have more to give in this life?
Absolutely.
Do you have more to do to help women, to help kids, to help families?
Yeah.
So if you have more to give, when you're in this low state, when you're in this down state, the down state is you. And what you're doing is you're keeping yourself from your own joy. Is it okay that when you have these moments and you begin to recognize them, that you have your A team to call, those folks that you can count on to help you say, all I need is a little bit of love. I can get along with a little help from my friends. Wasn't there a good song that went like that? This is why, and I forgot to ask you to do this morning, so this just came up. So Anne, thank you for this. Send out your messages of joy, of gratitude. When you get down into the lower moments, when you get down into the depth, when you start sliding down that slide and going, oh man, this thing is as greasy as you know what. You start sending out your messages of joy. You start sending out your messages of gratitude. I called a buddy of mine yesterday. He's a top leader. He's the #1 income earner for a huge company, like 200 years in the business. This guy's old. And if he was on here, he'd know I'd laugh. But I said, hey, listen, Tom, I love you. And he goes, I love you, cabbage head, and your feet stink. Bye. That was his goodbye. That was his sign off. I love you, cabbage head, and your feet stink. Bye. I'm like, how? Yeah, exactly, Leo. I love that. This is one of the icons of the industry. Just the most funniest guy, but this is my brother. This is my brother, and he says things like that. And when he says things like that, you know you're in the inner. Could you imagine if he walked by you on the street and he said, hey, I love you, cabbage head, and your feet stink? You'd be like, son of a bit, what the hell? Who does he think he is? But see, when we understand, when we have the filter of love to translate everything, do you understand that that filter of love translates everything? And what is it translated into? It can only translate it into love.
That's actually quite funny that you're saying that, Sean, because yesterday, so I went back to sleep because my body was just saying no. So I went to sleep, and every hour I woke up, but with things from my past. Like my brain was reminding me things from my past, and I had to shake it off before I went back to sleep again. And then the next hour, because I was tracking it, I was looking at my phone, and then the next hour I would wake up with another new image or something that I did that I was embarrassed by, or it was all the old kind of stories. And I was thinking, I thought I was working through that. So,
but here's the good news. Listen, Ann, listen. Every hour, every hour, the old story tried to keep you stuck. Here's the thing. You said something in the very beginning that should be a bomb drop for all of us, a mind blow for all of us. You said my body. You didn't say my memory. You didn't say my brain. You didn't say your heart. You said my body. Your entire life is stored in every cell in your body, and you are going through a detox. I would be absolutely ecstatic. I would be going, man, I'm on the 7th floor. I know a lot of hospitals where they do drug addicts or they do the addiction. There's a floor in the hospital that's nothing but for druggies, right? Nothing for people detoxing, nothing for people coming out of the thing. You're on that floor right now, girl. You're on that floor, and every hour you're waking up and you got to go, detox that, detox this, unremember the old stories. But this is coming up from your body because it's stored in every cell in your body. And when you go through a detox, if you ever had a knee injury when you were growing up, you're like, man, why is my knee hurting? I took your health pills and my knee hurts. Well, you're an idiot. These pills don't hurt your knee. That's a detox. But we can't say that, can we? Oh my gosh, I took your pill. Well, did you eat it? Did you do it with a little water? No, I had 3 cups of coffee and your pills. Well, do you have a door close? Go put your head between the door and the frame and slam it. But we can't say that, can we?
Wow.
This is coming out of your body, Ann. You said it. This is how we see. If we get to listen, if we started to mentor people through listening and not teaching, listening and not telling, listening and not tormenting. Tormenting is, well, get over it. I don't know. You got a problem, man. Get over it. It's like, oh, crap. Now we just cemented in those things. I'd be ecstatic. I'd be jumping off the roofs going, I'm detoxing. These old memories are coming up. They're putting up a fight, but they're bringing a pea gun to a machine gun fight. They ain't got a chance. This is your body trying to keep you stuck. This wasn't your memory. This isn't your heart. This is your body detoxing. These are your cells that while you've been happy and healthy, these are the last cells that have been hiding behind your liver and hiding behind your colon, and they're hiding behind your intestines, and they're going, they can't see me. I'm here. I'm going to wreck this whole thing. I'm going to be like a fart in church. I'm going to ruin the whole thing. You better pay attention. And everybody's going to be going, what the hell is that? Like, I don't know. Do you have dogs?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So anybody have a dog that all of a sudden you're sitting there and it's like you see the dog's feet move and you go, oh, get ready. Oh, get ready. And they wake, or what if they wake themselves up? If you've ever seen those in cartoons where the dog rips one and it wakes itself up. That's what's happening right now. Your body is exuding this negativity, this thing that nobody wants to see. You don't even want to see it. And therefore, when it shows up, you're like, ugh, why am I in the pits? No, it's detoxing. Congratulations. Welcome to the next level.
Can I offer another alternative?
Hang on. Go ahead, Bob.
There's another possibility here too. It can also be that what's not coming up and needs to come up are the values that we just get totally electric about. If I can use you, Sean, as an example, when you started to talk this morning, you talked about, what was the main theme? It was about, you can be enough. You're good enough. And then Sean says, I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. And what I'm getting at is, I suspect, if I had to guess, that what was coming up for Sean was the value of being recognized, being enough. It's a positive value that comes bubbling up. And for so many of us, that wasn't encouraged. We weren't encouraged to be ourselves. I'm thinking even the other day when Malik was, I can't remember exactly what she was discussing or bringing to the fore, but she got very excited. And then for good reasons, I think Sean kind of suggested, well, maybe she needs to settle down a little bit. But, and you know, there's some utility to that. So might be some good purpose to that. But what I'm getting at is more along the lines of what Stephanie suggested. We all have some values that strike us. For me, I cannot listen to Saint-Saëns Symphony No. 3 for organ and orchestra without crying. I cannot get through it without crying. It's not because of anything that's bad, it's because it's so damn beautiful. That's a part of me that I almost don't want to experience. But it's an energy in me. Just as I think I saw in Sean this morning, the energy in him is about the beauty in all of us. If we were to be fully alive, to fully accept ourselves as being enough, being the beautiful souls, to use his words that he uses 6 times every day. That to some extent, it's not a matter of holding back what the drunk monkey is telling us we can't do, or the way we shouldn't be, or all the old things. It's more, it can be more about letting ourselves be ourselves, letting our real values come to the surface. So I would ask Anne, is there something that turns you on? Is there it can be anything. And whatever it is, it's unique to you in your own way. I'm not expecting you to answer that. I'm just saying that another route to fulfillment is to notice what really moves us, and not letting the old admonitions or the old influences that said, no, you shouldn't be that excited about that. You know, that you're not entitled to feel that good about life, about that particular thing.
Are you saying that, like, the mission or the purpose that I'm kind of building on, my old story is trying to stop that? Is that what you're trying to get?
Yes, exactly. Yes. And if you can identify and allow the feelings to come to the surface that are associated with whatever it is that you're meant to do, whatever it is that moves you to do, that can take over all the garbage that we've accumulated along the way. There's lots of techniques for going back and changing beliefs about the old stories and that kind of stuff. But I'm just suggesting that I think a big part of this, there's a term for it, and I'm having a senior moment about it, but it has to do with allowing yourself to become energized, invigorated, allowing the spark, the unique spark that's within you, come be lit, and let that light your life up. Is there some piece of music, or is there a picture? Is there the way people relate to each other? Is it the maybe for some people it might be the giggles in a child that they observe. It could be for a nurse seeing someone recover in a way that kind of thing might be what motivates you. And I just think it from an early age, we get talked out of all of that sort of stuff. Not necessarily maliciously, but other people around us, just like, who was it that said, I forget, somebody said that, I think it was Louise, or no, it was Jose. Yeah, Jose was saying, the people around me are not appreciating who I am in some way or another. Is
exactly.
that right? Is that
yes,
right?
What I meant was that they're trying to steal my such a great energy that can be shared with them and even help themselves. It's being trying to be blocked. That's what I meant. Like, it's trying to be blocked, and it pushes me down. Or
so Jose, hang on, everybody, hang on. Bob Proctor says, if you want to hang around poor people, if you want to be poor, hang around poor people. Jose, I'm not going to let you continue with that conversation because you're just reliving the old story.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
No. Don't be sorry. This is an awakening. This is a mentorship. This is a family of love. And so all we're saying is that sometimes we see how easy it is to go back to the old story. And we're like, man, but I really want to help them. Let the dead bury the dead. Until you help you, let's help you. This is, again, trust me, the reason that I stopped you is because nobody stopped me 20 years ago, and they let me hear my story because I said they were a mentor. And I said, they're going to help me. They're going to know exactly what to do for me. And they're going to they want me to talk this out. Listen, all I can tell you is if you keep talking about it, every second, 10 million cells with the old story start to show up.
I appreciate you telling me.
And so it's not out of disrespect. It's out of respect. And when Bob says, find the music that enjoys you, find the music that moves you forward, that's about tomorrow. That's about the future moment. We can go back and we can look about unwiring. It's called neural pruning. And in neural pruning, we can say, okay, that story is no longer true. But the way neural pruning actually happens is the same way you kill a tree, you stop watering it. And understanding that, and understanding from the place where we are and the moment that we're at, that when we start to begin to water what it is we want, just like Ann said, I went down this hill and all of a sudden I was having these good days. And so here's what happens. Listen, this is what happens. We stop seeing the good around us because we go, this can't be that good that long. How many of us have woken and said, this can't keep being this good? I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. And guess what happens when we're waiting for the other shoe to drop? The other shoe drops.
Or we succumb to the old feeling that I really don't deserve that. An old feeling that came from somebody who didn't encourage us. We don't even necessarily have to have been browbeaten.
No, it's the simplest thing. A smell can turn us on, can turn us off. How many of us, listen, guys, this is me. How many of us have ever smelled a cologne and it was from somebody who really didn't serve us well in the past as a girlfriend, or they made us feel inferior, and it's like, oh my God, and you just 1,001 memories. And then there's another smell. There's another cologne that I smell. I remember it from the first girl I ever kissed. Yes, it was. She had cologne on. She wasn't 6. I didn't kiss somebody till I was 18 or something. So that's a whole nother story. So let's go on to the next one. Let's go. Ann, does that help?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you, Bob. That helped me so much. I literally thought I'd reverted, so it's nice to know that it's a detox and I'm on my way out.
Awesome.
And it may take you some time to find what lights your fire. because we're so used to suppressing it.
Yeah.
But if you go towards something as opposed to away from something, you might get a little bit further.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you
Oh,
so much, guys.
Sure.
You bet. Is it say your name for me? Shaquilla? Shaquilla.
Shaquilla, like
Oh,
tequila.
Shaquilla. Shaquilla. Good morning, Shaquilla. How can we be of service? Oh, by the way, hold on for just a second. Thank you for your smile.
Okay.
And your let's go to Shaquilla on line 4. And your question is, how can we be of service?
Okay, so I've been listening in since Friday, and I love what's happening here. The energy is amazing. I haven't even woken up to an alarm since I've been getting on this call. My body is just like, let's go. And this morning, I woke up with a migraine, but as I've been on this call, it slowly has dissipated, and it's like the weirdest thing I've ever felt in a really long time. Well, actually since being on the calls. So yesterday, you guys mentioned a lady who talked about intention and what was it? Intention and conviction?
Commitment.
Commitment?
Commitment and intention.
Yes. Thank you, Pink Robe lady.
Love you, sister.
I love you too. Absolutely. So yesterday I made a commitment to, so when you mentioned her breaking a contract, right? So I started thinking about all the contracts I've made with my kids, and I made a commitment to be with my son yesterday, and I had a training call. So I told him, hey, once my call is over, I'm gonna come back and watch Star Wars. He's a big Star Wars fan. May the force be with you. Yes. So I did that, and then literally after the call yesterday, I wrote down on my goal card that I give myself permission, like the old program no longer serves me, and I give myself permission to, to accept a new program and walk in new. And yesterday I had a really great day. So today when I woke up with the migraine, I didn't understand what was happening until you just mentioned like the body going into detox, and I can feel it. Like I can feel change happening ever since Friday. Like I can feel it, the buildup. And I felt like today, that migraine was a representation of just stuff leaving. And I'm like so grateful for you guys and for everyone sharing their heart. And sorry, I'm about to.
So Shaquilla, say it one more time.
Shaquilla.
Shaquilla. Okay, so Shaquilla, listen, I need you to hear this, because this is how we wind up back in the hole again. You're giving us the authority to reduce your migraine. Be very clear on it. You're giving yourself permission at a subconscious level to reduce the migraine. You just happen to put yourself, Joe Dispenza talks about it this way. Your personality is made up by your personal reality, or your personal reality makes up your personality. You've allowed your personal reality to make up your personality in this moment. So you are doing this. This isn't me. Don't give me authority. Don't give this community authority. Give it the joy that it deserves for allowing you to change you, allowing you to awake to yourself. So otherwise, now guess what happens? If you say it's this community, you'll wake up every morning addicted. And if goodness gracious, I'm late one day, like that would ever happen, all of a sudden people are like, he's gone. What do I do? I want you to know that with every breath and every syllable that comes out of my mouth, with every ounce of love that's shared by everybody in this community, it's only for you to become a better you, not a better need for us. Does that help?
That helps a lot.
This isn't about me being your guru. I ain't your effing guru. And F could be fun, fatigued, frustrated. I am a source. I am a source. I know that. I am not the source. I am a source. I am a place for you to come and let me wrap my arms around you. I'm a place to let you be that place that lets you wake up to yourself. And then when you wake up, please, like the bird, be on your way. Fly, little birdie, fly. So that I can see you in the shadows of the sun, and it warms my heart.
Wow. Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
I want to go to Nano. Did that help? Did that help you, Shaquila?
Yes, a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm going to go to Nano because I know he's got to get off and go help 1,000 people. Good morning, Nano.
Good morning, Sean. How are you this morning?
Outstanding, brother.
I'm doing great myself. Just got back from my morning routine, about to have a little breakfast before my call. But I wanted to ask you something about building people, because I heard what you said earlier about how you barely do anything with business, but you know, you're always about building people. So I wanted to ask, what's your technique, or what's your strategy for, you know, building people on a day-to-day basis? Because if you barely do anything with business, I want to know what you do on a day-to-day basis to build people, because you do such a phenomenal job of it. And I would love to, know a little bit of your routine, so I can start building some people throughout my days as well.
So if I tell you it's a routine, but I'm going to ask a couple people that are on here how they see me build their business, or how they see me build their business. So maybe the understanding, because I don't see it the way they hear it and they feel it. So I'll go to the one I spend an awful lot of time with, RBP. How would you answer that question for Nano?
Say it to me in a different way, please.
Me or Nano? Let Nano ask you the question. Ask Rhonda, how does Sean do what he does, building business, but he never builds people? He always builds people. He doesn't build the business. What does that look like? What does that look like for me? What do you see me do, Rhonda, that lets you know that I help you build you, and not I'm never talking about the Chinook or the rank advancement?
Well, let me think how to answer this, because I think I see Sean from multiple different views, and I guess it's hard for me to see him from a business view anymore, because it doesn't seem like business. I've watched Sean, so I've gotten really good at bringing people to Sean, and that's how my business has grown. Yeah, he has very great leverage, but he invests in every single person that I put in front of him, and it's not from commission breath. It's not from an agenda. The only thing he does when he sits in front of somebody is he sits in love, and what can he add to their life, or what can they add to his life? And that's all he does. That's literally all he does. He says the words, I hear Sean Murphy say the words, "How can I best serve you?" Or "Why are we here?" more than I hear him say anything, to the point where I'm to the point now with my 8-year-old little girl that when she comes to me, I end up saying, "How can I serve you?" Because he says it so much. So he sits there, he's building people, and it reflects, it pays off in the business because of the joy that he gives away, the thankfulness he gives away, the gratitude he gives away, the kindness he gives away. It comes back to him tenfold and in a bunch of different ways. But if you wanted to measure it monetarily, it comes back in the growth in his business. And it might not be directly his business, but it might be the team that he's helping, the team that he sits in. So he never, I'm trying to think of how to get my words. He's never actively building a business. He's always actively looking at hearts and helping the hearts that want to go catapult forward, loving the hearts that need to just sit and be still, and trying his best to absorb the misery from the hearts that are in misery and turn it around and give it back to joy. Does that make sense how I said that?
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, actually.
So Nano, yesterday as an example, if you were to look at my calendar, if you were to look at the results of what I did yesterday, I probably spent 4 hours in conversations with people, helping them build their food truck, helping them talk about how do they buy a beach house, talking about Where do they get tax deductions? What's the best way to set up an LLC? Or should I set up 2 LLCs and a shadow LLC? All I did was sit in love and answer their questions. And before it was all said and done, an hour had gone by, and they said, well, listen, so Rhonda, RC asked a question, and I'd like you to answer that. So Nano, all I do is sit and say, listen, how can I be of service? I just show up, my Zoom room is open, and I'll be working here, and somebody will pop in and go, hey, you're here. Can I ask you a question? How can I be of service? I have no idea. Sometimes I don't even know who these people are. So when I say I build business, it's because, remember, what's my legacy? 600 generations. I won't be able to spend the money 5 generations from now. So why am I worrying about trying to build the money now? If I build the 600 generations, the money has to come. It can't not. That's the way the universe rewards things. Go be of service and you will be compensated for it. When you put value in yourself and value in your time, Jim Rohn says, right? Income is based on what? The rungs of a ladder, and the higher up it is the more value you become in the world. You want to become rich, become valuable. You want to become wealthy, become valuable to valuable people. Decide who's valuable in your life. And too often we decide who's valuable based upon their contact list. I decide who's valuable by whose heart can awaken and whose heart can learn to stay awake. And once there's a poem, and I'll have to look it up. 1 man awake can awaken another. 2 awake can awaken a town. And then the poem goes on to 4 awake can awaken the world. So all I'm looking to do is to awaken the next soul, because they could become the Gandhi, the Mother Teresa, the Nelson Mandela. There's a Nelson Mandela on this call right here. There's a Mother Teresa on this call right here. Does that help, Nano?
Helps a lot, actually.
Doesn't make it any doesn't make it any easier, but it helps.
But it definitely gives me some direction, though.
So the key is, when you get on these calls, when you show up with a state of love and gratitude and promise to do no harm, when you read out of the books, when you share the testimonials, and I see the Instagrams that go along, he's changing me, he's awaking me. Make sure that they can take the gold and turn it into their own jewelry. Because we don't need people walking away. Here's the challenge. If people walk away with your gold, you'll eventually become poor. And like Solomon said, I was the richest. I had slaves, I had servants, I had gold, I had wine, I had everything. And you know what? When it all came down to it, everything is meaningless. The pursuit of anything other than the love of God is like chasing the wind. So when people walk away with your gold, are they robbing you? Or are they creating another mine for you to dig in?
That's fire.
So when we sit there and we sit here with facts, see, I sit here, and when I watch an Ann wake up, when I watch a Bakumi wake up, when I watch a Nano who is absolutely, the world is falling at his feet because of the leverage and the joy that he brings, he walks away with my gold, with my nuggets, turns them into his mine. And I am not jealous of that, because guess what? I get to go mine in his heart and in his soul, and I get to be awoke. I get to be awakened. I get to have the love and joy of my fellow brother and watch his mind get bigger. And then he's got more space. His mind is bigger. And his gold mine, this gem source. And I get to drop more gems in him. And he gets to send that out. And that turns into more mines. And all of a sudden, we've got 600 generations going down the line who have mined a little bit of Kevin Torres, a little bit of Sean Murphy, and a little bit of Bob Parks and Rob Cardenas and Pink Robe Lady. And all of these things turn into beautiful jewelry that people get to wear around their neck, and they get to wear it around their neck, and they get to be proud of their own jewelry, their own gold that they mined. And our minds are endless. So that's how I build people.
Let's go. It's already done. Thank you so much, Sean.
I love you, Nano.
I love you and appreciate you. Love you more, Rhonda.
Love you, brother. Thank you. Hey, listen, Nano, for all those that'll never get a chance to say thank you. Thank you. For all those that you bring into my world and allow me to pour into, to help us elevate, educate, and fall in love with, let them fall in love with themselves. Thank you for bringing your world to mine. I'm forever grateful for that. For you having the courage at the end of a long event to stop going to the pool and to walk into a room and go, hey, I just wanted to say thank you. Because here's how this whole relationship started. You know, when I tell you, how many times did you say thank you today? One thank you impacted Nano in a way he never thought a thank you could impact him. And it was one simple thank you that triggered this waterfall of a relationship. One thank you changed this whole community. And it was because he was in a state of gratitude, not in a state of greatness. He was in a state of caring, not convincing. He was in a state of admiration, not adornation. He wasn't looking to put a mask or put a gold shield on me or pin a medal to me. He just wanted to say thank you, regardless of the environment he was in, regardless of all of the other people around. He just said, thank you. And for that thank you, it's changed our worlds in a way I could have never imagined. So I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for allowing me to bring my people in here and pour into them the way you do, because they all love you. I get so many thank you messages every day. Thank you for introducing me to Sean. And I'm like, trust me, I'm just as thankful for him because he changed a lot for me. So I'm just extremely grateful for you, Sean, and everything that you do for me, brother. So love you. Hope you have a great day, and let's keep being great, brother. 600 generations. We still got a long way to go.
We got a long way to go. And so folks, also pay attention that the teacher also becomes a good student. All too often when we get the chance to teach, we're like, man, I got this. I know this. I would encourage you to find a way to go back to your teacher and be a great student. So I love what we get to do.
Sean, I can't, I'm on my phone, so I can't type a response to Rob. Do you want me just to?
Yes, no, I want you to share it. Now I wanted you to share that because I know
Okay.
Nana's jumping off, but I wanted you to, Rob asked that question. So what do you say to bring them to Mini Yoda?
Mini Yoda. That's what I say. I'm taking you to Mini Yoda. No, that's not what I say.
Thank you. I'm going to spit my coffee everywhere.
Please do that. I need that. But tell me before you do that so I can video it. You have so many pictures of me that you're going to blackmail me with. I need something. I know. Stop. Every time I introduce Sean, the content is similar. The way I introduce Sean is different. And the way I introduce Sean a lot of times depends on the person that I'm introducing him to. So I will find a commonality between the person I'm introducing them to and Sean. And if I can't find necessarily a commonality, I speak high enough of Sean that he appears to be real and influential, but not high enough to where they're too scared to ask questions. So for instance, I have a loved one that needed some help and nothing related to our business. I hate that. Nothing related to making a commission off of somebody. It was all about helping somebody find a path. And if ever we brought value, we would be seen as someone that brought value and they would come back, maybe, but that's not why it's done. So my introduction is how he can best help them, and that he's a place of value and he's a place of love. For women, I always tell women it's a place where women will be edified and respected and equal and loved and celebrated. For men, I always say something to the effect that Sean is a good place of accountability, of example on how to treat both men and women. And especially if it was something in this industry, I always tell a man that they could learn a lot, since it's a 80%, 90% women industry, on how to treat a woman, and that would benefit them greatly. So every time I introduce Sean, it's something along the lines of how best he will benefit them where they are. And I've gotten really good at, I'll introduce them and quickly get them on a call with Sean. I don't let any time lag. And as soon as I get them on a call with Sean, I literally say what I need to say. I mute my phone and I do this number. And I never speak again until I say, bye y'all, thanks for coming. And that's it. That's it. So I don't know, Rob, if you want to unmute, if that answered your question, or if you want me to expand. You might have to
what
type.
happens during your presentation with Sean. That's literally what happens. Sean talks, you just listen and laugh.
I did, didn't I, Lewis? I just laugh and wave, and I'm like, hey.
Thank you for that.
Rob, is Rob still
he
here?
said, no, that's good.
Okay, I couldn't see.
Hey, Gina, where's Gina? There she is.
Hi, John.
Hello, my love.
How are you doing today?
Outstanding.
That's good. Okay, my only question is, how do I get out of my way and stay out of my own way?
Very well. Why do you ask?
Because I need to get out of my own way.
Okay, so if getting out of your way, first of all, it's impossible to get out of your way, but it is possible to make your way more enjoyable.
Okay.
You see how we use words to make it almost impossible for us to be happy?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like telling a worm, only half of you go. What? So to get out of your way means to leave something behind. What part of you would you like to leave behind?
Probably either the part that tells myself I can't do this, or I'm not good enough.
So if those two people came up to you, I want you to picture, have you ever stood on stage before?
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever stood on stage? Have you ever had to walk up the steps to get on stage because the audience was fairly big? Have you ever seen anybody walk up on stage?
Well, I have walked up on stage. So
Okay, good. So I want you to picture you walking up on stage, the you that sits before me now, the you that asked the question.
Okay.
And in the front row, the one that said you're not good enough and you don't deserve enough got up from their chair and started to walk up the steps onto the stage. And they were about to take the microphone. Now you have a choice. Do you let them take the microphone, or do you ask them to go sit back down?
I asked them to go sit back down.
And the one that's there, because they've usually run the stage, and they're booing you off the stage. And what happens when they boo you off the stage, and they booed you off the stage before, and they said you're not good enough, you can't do this, and you've walked back, you didn't even go sit in the audience, you walked off stage and you disappeared into the back. Now you're going to stand there. What are you going to say to you're not good enough and you don't deserve this? What do you say to them? They're all part of you. It's a part of you. So you're not going to be mean to them. You're not going to tell them, get the hell out, because they can't. That's who you are. They've been designed and created to protect you, is the story you've told. And they're just coming up to protect you. Can you ask them in a loving way to go take their seat? And now you just asked them to go take their seat. You said it. You heard yourself say it. And all of a sudden they look at you, and they look at you with disbelief. They're like, wait a minute, we're here to protect you. And you say to them, no, I got this. I'm good. I know you got my back. Go ahead, sit down. I got it. And all of a sudden they see in you a level of confidence. They see in a level, oh, okay, we don't have to work this hard anymore. We don't have to tell her every time she wants something she can't do it. We don't have to tell her that she's not worthy. Okay, good. We've been doing that because the people she's been around before have told her that she's not worthy, and we've come to protect her. But now she's around people who tell her that she's worthy, that remind her she's worthy, that let her feel that she's worthy, that let her feel that she's enough. And all of a sudden, they go sit back down. And when they go sit back down, guess what you hear from the rest of your stories? Guess what you hear from the rest of your memory that's sitting in the chairs, that's sitting in the seats? You hear this standing round of ovation that says, Gina's got this. You go, girl. And they're jumping up and down and music starts playing. And all of a sudden you realize you're the one in charge. This is the place you deserve. You're the one that's making the world a better place. You're the one that's in charge of this. And now all of a sudden, everybody's starting to look to you and they're going to say, what do we do next? And that's where the fear shows back up again. And they start to stand up from their seat and they go, do you need help? You need help? You need us to take over? And you're like, no, I got this. Because you're going to stand up there in what? You're going to stand up there in fear, or you're going to stand up there in love? Which do you choose, Gigi? Do you stand there in love?
I choose love.
So now you stand there in true love. Now guess who has to love who?
I have to love me.
And when you love you, you stand there and the audience starts going a little bit louder. The audience starts going a little bit crazy. The audience starts making some noise. Y'all unmute yourself, make some noise. Give Gigi some love. Start clapping for her. Telling her she's the one.
Let's go. You got it.
Oh, Gigi, you got this, girl.
You got this, girl.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Gigi, you're powerful.
Awesome.
You're beautiful, Gigi.
So powerful. So powerful.
And she stands there in tears, and we get more excited, and we say more things to her. Y'all give her more love. Y'all tell her, you got this, Gigi.
Let's go.
Come on, Gigi. Yes, Gigi.
Got this, Gigi.
Love you. You got it.
Let it go, Gigi. Let
You
it go.
can do this.
Go, Gina.
So beautiful.
Gigi,
Let it out, sister. Let it out. Let it flow. Let it
we
flow.
love you.
You are
Yes,
not
let
by
it go.
yourself.
Let it go.
You are not by yourself.
No,
You have 200 people right by your side. You're not alone.
that's right. That's right.
You can't ever be alone, Gigi. It's when you stand up there and you think you're alone, it's just your face in the back of the stage. You turn around and you see all of us. You turn around and you see all of this joy. You turn around and there's no way that old story has a, listen, I'll run up there and I tackled those sons of guns sitting up in the front. I'll lay across their lap. You'll see me laying there. You'll see me laying across all their laps, just like this in the front row. Right?
Thank God he's got pants on, y'all.
And you'll be laughing and you'll be going, oh my gosh, they got me. And everybody that's sitting in your front row, the person behind them's got their arm around the front of their neck going, you get up, I'll break it. You get up, fear and doubt, I'll knock you down. You get up, procrastination and self-doubt. Listen, we're not going to get rid of them. We're just going to make sure you keep the stage. We're going to make sure you stand up there and you be strong. Ah, there it is. Hi, Gigi.
Hi, Sean.
Hello. There's my Gigi. There's my Gigi.
I didn't know I needed that, but thank you.
Somehow your Uncle Sean did. Y'all realize the power you have? Do you see the life you've given back? Do you see the life you awoke just now? It's not that we did anything special. We just did us. Listen, hear me. We just did us. And in doing us, we bring value to the world. When you do you, you bring value to the world. You don't have to be me. You don't have to be RBP. You don't have to be Leo. You just have to be you. Let Dakaya be Dakaya. You just be you. And when we are us, we remind Gigi who Gigi is. And us giving Gigi strength. You're absolutely right, Sandy. When we got to stand there and we got to applaud Gigi and we got to tell her, you got this, girl. Go, girlfriend. Can I say that? Go, girlfriend. Her spirit heard it. Her soul heard it. Listen, you can't get that in a $497 program we bought before. You can't get that when you read one more book. You get that when you're in community. You get that when you're with family, and you get it with family who's more about you than they are about themselves, because everybody had to give their energy. Everybody had to give a little bit of themselves. And when you give a little bit of yourself, guess what? You start the flow, baby. And when you start the flow, you feel better. How many of us felt, if you felt amazing loving on Gigi, type an A in the chat. See, we felt amazing. We felt amazing. Gigi felt amazing. And then she felt more amazing, and she got more tearful, and we got more amazing, and we got louder. This is what I'm talking about. Thank you to awaken yourself. See, Brene Brown says, your vulnerability is what gives us strength. Gigi, you may or may not know it, but you just awoke 100 people. And you're sitting there going, why do I need, I can't get out of my way. The reason you can't get out of your way is because you got to ask for help. You're asking the wrong people to move the boulders. You're trying to move the boulders. I got to get out of my way so I can go find them. Listen, you call out, you raise your hands up and you go, help. We'll come move the damn boulders. You ain't got to do it by yourself. That's where women are told, oh, you should be seen and not heard. You should be dressed to the nines and show your hips and show your curves and do your hair and do your nails, but then sit there and be quiet. Bullshit-taki. You need to be loud. You need to be a voice. You need to stand on that wall, both to protect us and let us honor you. Shaquila, I woke up my whole family. How you feeling now, Gigi?
I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed to get that off my chest.
Yeah. So, and here's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in your room. We've been in our rooms. This is how we're connected. When you need this, Gigi, all you need to do is ask. And we don't even need to be in this room together. All you do is ask, and we will hear you. You turn your hands up and say, God, I need a little help. I need a little help from my friends. And we will all be there absolutely cheering you on, encouraging you. Gigi, say, I am enough.
I am enough.
You are. And I agree with that 100%. And those moments when you're not enough, you're just enough. In those moments when you're more than enough, you're just enough. You're the one that made us all jump for joy. You're the one that makes us all awaken ourselves. So imagine if you were the secret weapon today. Imagine if you were the miracle for all of us today. So let that sit in. Let that sink in. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. You are the miracle for all of us. In your vulnerability, in your challenged state, you gave us a chance to help another human. You gave us a chance to feel what it's like to be needed. You gave us a chance to feel what it is like to inspire. You gave us a chance to love someone that couldn't do anything for us in that moment other than receive. You were the miracle for me. So sometimes when you ask for a miracle, it's not one you're asking for, it's 100 you're asking for. So I thank you for being courageous enough to allow 100 miracles to happen this morning. You get that, Gigi? You gave 100 miracles to happen for us to find something to fall in love with for just a second in the world that's hurting right now. In this world that's just absolutely chaotic, you gave us a chance to focus our energy, to love another human being who we may not know, but we know is hurting. And when they're hurting, we want to take that away. And in our joy, you gave us the chance to experience a miracle. And in that, you had 100 miracles come true to you today. So I'm going to ask you to think bigger. You changed these. I see Kira. Kira's in the Czech Republic. You gave her a chance to have a miracle in the Czech Republic. You ever done business in the Czech Republic, Gigi?
No, not yet.
Guess what? You build people in the Czech Republic. That's why if you build people, you won't have to worry where your business goes. You're doing business in the Czech. If your business is to build people, you get this? Y'all get this? Y'all are worried about your business. Your business isn't going to leave. Your business isn't going to live on past you. But the people you build will live on past you. You get out of a check and you get into a check mark. Did I save somebody today? Did I bring value to somebody today? Was I their miracle? Were they a miracle for me? You put a check in a check box, you'll wind up with a check in your mailbox. Ooh, somebody write that down. That's a t-shirt right there. You put a check in the box, you'll get a check in the mailbox. Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everybody. I love you guys so much.
Isn't this awesome? Did that help, Gigi?
Yes, tremendously. More than you know.
Good. Good. You'd be surprised how much I know.
I'm not surprised at all.
I love you, Gigi. Thank you for letting us have our miracles today.
I love you too.
Let's go to Julie.
Oh, wow, Sean. Today's been amazing. Like, this call has been amazing. So I just want to say this book right here that I'm reading.
And you cut off in camera. Maybe she just, there you go. Hold on, you're muted.
All right. So what about now? So I'm reading this book, right? I'm like diving into leadership a lot. I feel like, leadership is important. So I'm reading this book, John C. Maxwell, the Leadership Handbook. And I kid you not, I've only read the first 2 chapters, Sean. And the first 2 chapters today have been said in this entire book. You talked about
So do me a favor. Do me a favor. Look on the inside of that cover and see what year that book was printed.
It says 2008. I think so.
Yep. So where do you think John got that from?
No idea. Oh, I know why. The recession? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
No.
Then where?
So where do you think he got it from? 26 letters in the alphabet. Are any of them new?
No.
No. So here's why I say this. Be careful of where you put your authority. Because I've been teaching this since 1998. So who should have more authority? I'm just saying. I'm not saying it should be me. But what I'm saying is when you give it to John Maxwell, I love John. There's not a single thing against John. But what happens is when we start to say this came from there, it came from this. It came from this. Marcus Aurelius. This is 2,000 years old. Have you read this book?
The Essential Marcus Aurelius. No.
Have you read this book, the manual from 800 BC?
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is that, yes, John puts it in a great way. What I'm saying is that if you referred to it, you know where it came from for us? It came from Julie. Didn't come from John C. Maxwell. It came from Julie.
Wow, Sean. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Take the authority. You're the one that's sharing it. Listen, I learned from John. You can say, I learned from John.
I learned this from John, yes.
But if you say this is in John's book, who should listen to you?
You're right. You're right.
This is like saying, hey, listen, I'd like to go out on a date with you, but my brother's cuter and more handsome, but I'd like to go out with you. Well, can I talk to your brother?
No.
Right?
Well, yes. So this came from me, but I was reading this morning. I want to dive into leadership a lot, and from everything you say, everything that you're saying today, it's like resonating with what I was reading today, and I put it in my own words. But the thing that really caught my attention was when you guys were talking about leading, like feeling bad and having good days and having bad days, feeling at an all-time high, and then one day you're feeling terrible. And I think it's because, you know, the hardest thing that we have to do is, like, the toughest person to lead is yourself. It's like the hardest thing to do is leading yourself.
And using Jim Rohn's words, until,
yes. So I was reading this. I read this. Look, a man without decision of character can never be said to belong to himself. He belongs to whatever can make it captive of him. When we are foolish, we want to conquer the world. When we are wise, we want to conquer ourselves. And I resonate with that because I've had experiences in which I could be at an all-time high, and then one day I don't feel like doing anything. And I remember, you know, there's been so many times that my old story is trying to like get back. Give me a second. Sorry, my parents are like talking right now.
Hey,
So
but
yes,
wait a second. Can your parents still hear you?
yes, they can.
So before you go any farther, hey, tell them thank you for being amazing parents.
Thank you for being amazing. Well, they ignore me, but
No, they didn't ignore you, but go ahead.
My question to you, Sean, is this, right? So I get it. Like, you have to feel good. I understand that. I understand, you gotta make a decision, right? And you have to have a decision, make a decision when you're feeling that kind of way. But when you have a team to lead, when you have a team to pull up with you, when you're feeling bad and sad and whatever the case is, how would you be able to, I guess, does it make sense? I'm just thinking right now, like I have like 100 million thoughts in my head.
So ask the question again.
So when you have a team, right? You have a team of over people, and you're having those bad days. You're having those days that you don't feel like doing anything, and your mind is holding you captive, like your old story.
Yep.
How would you get out of that in order to pull your team with you and lead them?
So when you were in the military, how big of a I don't know the right terminology, platoon or group were you responsible for when they gave you command?
So I was a sergeant. So I had a group of, I was a team leader. So I had like 8 people, 9 people that I had to lead.
When one of your people in your platoon that you were responsible for everything about them because of the military, when one of them was having a bad day, what would you say to them?
Ooh. I would talk to them, about it. Honestly, to be real with you, Sean, in the military is a bit different. I would tell them to get over it.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And the reason it's not is because you think you left the military. That has been ingrained in you. You're trying to put civilian life. You're trying to use the simple, easy civilian life to deal with yourself. You could use the civilian life to deal with those around you, but your military life in your mind. So how would you talk to that person? What would you say to them? Would you tell them, get your ass in gear, grab your backpack and your this and get out on the line? What would you say to them?
That's exactly what I would tell them. I'm like, get over it. It's not.
So here's the thing, because that's how you're wired. And when they got over it, were they going to a place of lack? Were they going to a place of where they weren't protected? Were they going to a place to put themselves in to be harmed? Or were they going for a place to strengthen themselves?
They would honestly just keep going. Like they'll keep going. They will listen.
So it might serve you to be that tough with you right now. Get yourself in gear, Sergeant. So who would be your commander? What would be the next level up?
It'll be my platoon sergeant. Then.
And who's above that?
It'll be the commander after that. Yeah.
So, and then who's the highest one on base?
It depends. The major.
Okay, so major. So who does the major report back to? So imagine if one of the is it generals in the Army?
Yes.
Ever have a general visit base?
Yes, I
And did everybody suck it up and tight and everything?
Yes.
And only because of their title.
Only because of the title, yeah.
Right. Now, they may have had the heart to go along with it that made you just absolutely admire their title even more, but some of them were just asses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let me ask you this. If I had the title of general and I came on base and you knew me, would it because I'm a hard ass or because I do what it says? I'll do the task to make sure that you get the task done. So Sergeant, I need you to suck it up. I need you to step into your rank. You're up for promotion.
Uh-huh.
There is no question. We're going to go take that wall. Let's get you right and centered, Sergeant, and then we'll take care of the rest of the platoon. Are you ready?
Yes.
Can you get this done?
Of course.
Can I count on you?
Yes.
Cool. So let's get you steeled and sharpened, and let's make sure that you're capable, because now that you're on the wall, you can tell everybody else how to get to the wall. Listen, some people are going to get left behind. Some people are going to get left in the chow line. They ain't coming. You're only responsible for the ones that show up now in this world.
Thank you, Sean. That was a great analogy.
See, because the fact that I use the term general sets you straight. You heard it in your body. You know I'm not a general. You know I ain't in the military, but all of a sudden, when you act as the chain of command, you stand tall.
I didn't know how much like the military had influence on my leadership ability.
Well, let me let you in on a secret. I did.
I didn't at all.
But you felt it in your body, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And you know I'm not a general, but you knew that if a general was showing up on base, you knew what all of a sudden became tight and straight.
Mm-hmm.
Now I spoke to you with that. I spoke to you with that respect. The respect you deserve, the respect I deserve because of the military, because of the rank, because of the titles. You're a bunch around of first-class privates, PFCs. And you're trying to take orders from them, and they're trying to give you orders. They can't find their ass with a map and a flashlight.
That's crazy.
So
it's crazy, Sean. Like you can really build this business. That's crazy. Like with the that's crazy. Thank you, Sean.
I love you. Erica. Oh no, Jessica's got her hand up. Good morning, Jessica with a heart. Oh, there she is. Oh, I get to talk to the hair. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for putting these calls on. Thank you everyone for everything that everyone shared. It's been amazing. So I was listening to Laura, who was talking the other day, and she was talking about a check, and she didn't say how much was on the check. I don't know if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm working in network marketing,
I
have a parent who is, let's say, a parent who comes from a third world country, and I have a parent that comes from a first world country. And me writing down a check to me is like saying I'm not humble anymore. And I find it really, I feel like with personal development, there's lots of things I can do and I can write down and I can work on, but it's the one thing I just feel like, it's the strangest thing.
So how can I be of best service to you?
So I want to try and write it down, and I want to try and dream bigger and think bigger, but I have no idea how.
So if you started with where you're at,
Mm-hmm.
how would you end this day? In what state of mind would you love to end this day that you're in?
I'd like to have one thing at least to write down and put.
And what would that one thing be?
I think I would like to try and write the check.
Okay. So have you ever had done the try exercise?
Mm-mm.
Okay, leave your hands right where they are on the side of your cheeks. Leave them right there. I'm going to ask you to try. Listen, you can hear me you can hear me and understand my words, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to do something, and I want you to follow my directions exactly. Now, did I ever ask you the 3 questions? Do I have your permission to help?
Yeah.
Do I have your permission to make you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Do I have your permission to take you out of that uncomfortable feeling?
Yeah.
Because we're going to dive into number 2 real quick. So your hands are on your face. Try to take your hands away. Can you hear me? Try to take your hands away.
Try.
Yeah, try.
As in I should or not?
No, I'm saying try. Try to take your hands away.
Okay.
That's taking your hands away. That's not trying. That's taking your hands away. So my point is that we could go on for this for the next hour, and there is no try. There's only do or not do.
Okay.
Climb if you can, dig if you must, but you cannot try. Right? So now all of a sudden, now you can move your hands. You don't need to leave them there, but if you're comfortable, you can keep them there. My point is that with everything you said, if you go back and listen to the recording, the word try prefaced everything. I'm going to try to write a check. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do that, which means you're just going to fail. That's a nice way of saying I'm okay with failure, but I'm going to put the effort out. So let me ask you this. Would it be okay if you wrote the check to yourself?
Yeah.
And how much would you like to write the check for?
Okay, ignoring myself right now, I'd like to write it for 1 million.
Okay, so for 1 million. What if that was an amazing thing to write it for, but that's just a huge number. What would be a number that if you hit it in the next 90 days would be a number that make you go, holy mackerel, that's pretty good. It's a stretch, but it's not so far out on the horizon. It's not, you got problem walking up a hill, but you're saying, let me go climb Mount Everest. What would be a million is a great check. We're all working towards that. What would be the first check? Is it $1,000 that you receive from your business? Is it $2,000?
I think 2,000.
So here's the best way to do this. Right now, here's the biggest secret that all of you could use right now. Take the biggest check you've ever received in a month and double it. I don't care if it's $100. You doubling it, you get to tell the story. I doubled my income. But most of you have never earned 100,000 in your business. Most of you have never earned 50,000. You know who tells you to write down 100,000 or 50,000 or $1 million? Your upline. Why? Because they're going to make the money while you suffer along the way to get there. I don't need you to make $1 million in my business. I need you to take care of your family. I need you to take care of you. So if you, Jessica, you do not have to say it out loud. Take your biggest check you've received and double it.
Okay.
You really want to get aggressive? Triple it. Now we've got a target to work for. Now you can see you can see double. You can see triple, quadruple. That's getting a little out there in the holy mackerel. I don't know if I got enough talent, skill, or ability. But if you know what you did, if you know what you need to do to make the check you got, let me ask this first thing. Have you received a check from your business? Okay, so here's the good news. You know what my very first check was 20 years ago when I got my first check? My first check was $5.49. Was that exciting?
Yeah.
To me it was. To me it was. To me it was. And here's my point. So what if you got a $100 check? What if you just got something that says, you know, it works? So what could you do in your business to get a check? Is it enroll somebody?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it cost to enroll somebody? Is it $249?
I I need to find 3 customers and 1 person who's going to join.
Okay. So what does it cost? What does it cost a customer to join your business?
It depends what they get.
Okay. So what would be the minimum? $20, $30, $100?
100.
Okay. So 100 to become a customer. Here's the thing. Can you tell a $100 story? See, because if I'm a customer and I'm gonna become a customer of yours,
yeah.
If I go to Walmart, if I go to Costco, or I go to Neiman Marcus, I'm gonna have to have a story to buy what's $1,000 at Neiman Marcus, where I can get it at Walmart for $9.85.
Right. Okay. I'm with you.
What's the story you tell yourself to make the purchase? Can you tell a $100 story?
Yeah.
Listen, I love y'all, but when I look and I see $235 to tell a story to get started, y'all are much better at this business than I am. I can't tell somebody right now a $235 story. I can't rightfully tell somebody that story, but you can.
I think I like to think that I would.
Right?
That's me being positive.
Right, but so here's the positive. We got to get you a check.
Okay.
And the first thing we got to do is we got to get you to tell a story, to find 3 customers and have somebody join your business.
Okay.
So the example of $100 story, Vach, is, have you ever paid $100 for a lunch for yourself? Have any of you ever gone out and bought yourself a lunch for $100? If you haven't, you can't sell a customer. You just can't. Listen, here's how I came to this awareness. When I owned a 4-star steakhouse and I had my servers dressed up in white tails and black tie, it was a black tie restaurant in the middle of the redneck countryest people walking in, and we had to have the whole restaurant sit down to get a full set of teeth. And I got a 4-star steakhouse with filet mignons and Bordeaux's and poulet foussé. So there you go. Diane bought a $100 lunch for a charity dinner, for a charity fundraiser. The question then is, how did you justify spending $100? That's the story you got to help somebody justify, to spend $100 for being a customer, that they get to tell the story. Diane, how long ago was that charity lunch? I bet it wasn't yesterday.
No, it was like 2 years ago.
So do you see the power of telling a good story? She gave $100 to charity 2 years ago, and she still gets to tell the story. Some of your people can't tell the story of why they joined you in business 24 hours later. It's why they quit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that making sense? How do you give them listen very carefully. There's 63 of you right now. You're going to get gold here right now. You're going to get platinum. You're going to get diamonds covered in platinum here right now. Can I give you the simplest of marketing messages that you'll ever fall in love with? If you want the simplest understanding of marketing, type a M in the chat. I just want to see how many type an M, because this is my gold. I don't have to give this. I can send this to Jessica privately. Okay, good. Jessica, you ready?
I'm ready.
Why are you all on this call for 2 hours? This is 2 hours of your life. That's 4 hours of your life in a day. That's 8 hours, and it's crazy. Why are you all here for 2 hours? Because you're going to get some value. Yes, Sam. But here's the thing. It gives you a chance to brag. Your stories are not giving your customers a chance to brag. Listen, I don't care what it costs to work with Malik. I get around her energy. If I'm asking how much, I ain't got money, I ain't heard Malik. All I heard was blah, blah, blah. I heard Charlie Brown's teacher, blah, 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 $240, blah, 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 blah. It's Forex trade, blah, 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 blah. It's international market, blah, blah, blah. There's 82 ways to make comp plan. I haven't fallen in love with Malik. I've fallen in love with stuff I don't want to buy.
She's priceless.
So then why would anybody say no? Well, you know why I get to charge 10 grand a month for my coaching? Right now, you have all received more coaching on this call than my clients do in a month. But y'all are going to walk away with this and do nothing if you choose to. You're going to walk away and you're going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to be answering the same questions and I'll show up. And you're going to come back the next day and you're going to ask the questions again and I'll show up. You know why? You know why you're all going to keep showing up and asking the same questions? Because you haven't paid the price. You pay me 10 grand, you will do what I say. If I told you walk downtown and spit peas out of your head, out of your mouth and stick pencils in your ears, you're going to go, is that going to get me to 10 grand a month? And I say, yep, you'd be going down there and you wouldn't care. Two things. One, because you just spent money you ain't got and you're hoping for a result you've not had. So, Jessica, let people fall in love with you.
Okay.
Let people brag on you. I want to sit with you just because I want to picture next to you with that hair. I want to picture next to you with that smile that I'm looking at right now. I want to see the beautiful curves of those cheeks. I want to see those lines because they're just they're just like this cavern of joy that just show up. Those eyebrows that absolutely are intoxicating. That chin that is absolutely beautiful. Why are you selling your business if you just show up and go, hey, can we have some fun together? Now, I know, ladies, listen, I understand. If you said that to guys, it'd be like, oh, yeah, girl, let's get it on. It's like, you creep. I get it. You got to deal with that. You're intoxicating, and you get too many people go, yeah, tell me about your business. Uh-huh. You're a jackass. You don't want to know nothing about my business. Give people a chance to fall in love with their dream. How much do you think people would pay for their dreams to come true?
A lot.
So then why is the price of your business too much? Because you're trying to sell a business and not build people.
I feel like I'm more interested in building the people than anything else.
But what it comes off as is that you're trying to build them and they don't know that you're trying to build them. They think you're trying to sell them because you're using a script that's based around your company. I've had people join me in business, fill out an application, put in their credit card, and buy something, and they're going, what's the name of the company? People don't know. None of you know what company I'm in unless you've figured it out and you've done some research. But you'll never hear me mention my company. My company's not important. It's your company that's important. It's you be successful in your business. So can you ask people a simple question? And the simple question is this: can we have a conversation to figure out how to help you have more? What's your number one product, Jessica? A solution. That's it. Because here's the thing. If you're going to build your company and your company goes out of business yesterday, you got to come up with a whole new story, don't you? So I love you. Tell me how old you are.
I'm 28. I'm going to be 29 soon.
So you're 29. How many times do you want to have to change your story about companies?
I don't want to change it anymore.
So then start building you. Start building Jessica. And when you build Jessica and you build the relationship and you build an audience that falls in love with you and you let them fall in love with you, when you build that business, no matter what business you're in, the business becomes the vehicle, not the message. You're the message. Imagine if you enrolled as many customers in your organization for every curl that is in your hair. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
That's a lot.
And that, yes, that's a lot. You're dang right. That's a lot. And see, you have this beautiful hair that's with all these curls. And there's some days you wake up and go, I just wish it was flat just for one day, just for one day. You will go spend money to get it flat. So you can do things and you're like, oh, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you look different. But then there's all of the ones who have the flat hair who go, oh, I would love your hair. And you're like, you have no idea the challenges. Right?
Yeah.
So don't try to be flat hair. Be the curliest, joyous hair you've ever been, and help people have whatever hair they want to have.
So be me.
Be absolutely you. Fall in love with you. Don't fall in love with a script. Don't fall in love with my words. Fall in love with you.
Okay, I have to tell you this because it's so strange, but I had a dream last night, and don't laugh, I Googled it, and it says, I had a dream that I had a baby, and then when I Googled it, it said, when the baby is already born in the dream, then the new thing has been birthed, manifested, made real already. It says when you dream about a baby, it's an idea or a new attitude or new awareness. And now I'm thinking, is it because I'm thinking about personal development and everything, and now I'm aware and I've opened my eyes to what's going on?
So in order for a baby to be born in the dream, and if it be yours, that means at some point you already had to go through what? The labor. So is it okay to realize you've already been through the labor, the pain of the birthing? The idea is here. Can you now raise the idea? Can you take care of it? Cool. You'll be a good mom.
Okay.
How do you feel now?
Mind blown.
Well, I know somebody else who could speak to this moment that you just had because I've watched it in her. RBP.
Good morning, Jessica. I'm sitting over here watching you and listening to you, and my thoughts are racing. I've unmuted like 7 times. Like I was going to say something. I was like, no, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. The whole trying bit. When I was saying trying all the time, I can look back now and see that it was a self-worth issue.
Right.
And you're finding your worth in somewhere other than yourself. And you're finding your worth in your network marketing company. Because now you feel as if you have something to give to people. Now you feel as if you have something of value to share with people. No one rarely finds value in a network marketing company or a network marketing compensation plan unless they see no value in themselves and they think, if I follow this script and this plan, I'm going to look valuable because the person that showed it to me, they look valuable. But understand what I'm saying there. They look valuable. They appear valuable. They speak valuable. But how do they make you feel? Inside, every single one of you hear these conversations and they toy with your emotions because you're like, yeah, I could have that life. I could, buy my parents a house, and I could, go save the world and feed 5 million hungry children. Yes. But when you sit back and think about it, the first thing you think of when you get alone is, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if that's going to happen for me. That's good for them. So when you go and you only put value in yourself because of a compensation plan or because of a network marketing company name, you show me that you have minimal value of yourself. Your self-worth is minimal. And no one will ever follow anyone who doesn't even believe in themselves. And if you're following network marketing and you're still lacking that, then it's a heart issue. And when your heart changes and you shift this into a heart area, it changes everything. I see you, Sean sees you, and we see this amazing person that we can't wait to dive into to meet. You look in the mirror and you see fluffy hair, and I don't know if I can ever make a paycheck because I haven't made one yet. Because you see your monetary amount. You don't see your heart. So it's a shift in seeing your own heart. I have a book over here that I was reading, but I've only been able to get through like the first 10 pages. Sean's warped my brain to the point now I read 10 pages and I can't get past it. I'm like, ah. And it says my mind is like a Twitter feed and I'm following a whole bunch of people that I can't unfollow that are just annoying me. But it's your brain, it's your soul. Your soul is on fire in a different way. And you can't calm it down. And you think a network marketing company or a name from a network marketing company is going to put that out and give you what you need. And it's not. It's not ever going to. My biggest compliment that I've received in a long time was somebody was visiting with me and talking to me, and they joined me and they're like, what company is this? They didn't even know who they joined because they joined me. They didn't join a company. They joined excitement and desire and love and happiness and smiles. And Jessica, you light up a room when you smile. And when you speak, no one expects to hear the sound that comes out of your mouth. Like your accent and your sound doesn't match up with your beautiful hair and your face. It's like, wait a second, hold on, who is this? And you have a shock and awe factor in a beautiful way. You have this shock and awe factor, but you don't believe in it. You would have never written that down if I said, what are your best traits and characteristics? You would have never said my voice and my appearance. You would have said something about, oh, I love children and I can take care of people and I love my family. You would have said things like that, which are great. But those are all things you do for others. Sean has this experiment that he does on people that I would love for him to do it on this call, and I don't want to give it away. And it's 21, he gives you, is it 11 minutes, Sean, or 21 minutes?
5 minutes, right? 5 minutes, write down 21 things.
There you go, 5 minutes to write down 21 things that, how do you describe that?
We'll do it in the exercise.
21 things. Huh?
We'll do it in the exercise.
Okay.
We'll do it.
And you'll be shocked at the outcome of this exercise every time. But you're focused, Jessica, on everything outside yourself. There was a couple of things I wrote down, and it says, do my stories give people a chance to brag? Can somebody be around you, Jessica, and they brag about being around you? You, not your company. Not your company. You. Can they brag about, no, I got to hang out with her? Because I can get on social media right after this call and go, Jessica, amazing curls, fabulous accent. Oh my God, I got to talk to her today. I can, y'all, if you ain't talking to Jessica, I don't know where you at. And I can honestly say that. So can you see yourself as somebody can brag about? And you struggle with it because I can see it in your eyes.
I think I can with when I teach swimming, people talk about me like that. But then this is the new story is network marketing. So,
but this is the true you. It's not network marketing because the swimming is another mask you hide behind. Because you have proved yourself in that. What you need to see is you've proved how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, so you've proved yourself to live 28 years quite successfully because you have all your limbs intact, all your digits are intact, you know, everything's intact. You've successfully lived for 28 years. Why do you have to successfully live as a swim coach? Why can't you just successfully live as a powerful woman? Why can't you successfully step into, this is my body, this is who I am, and I am a powerful, amazing, God-built woman. Why do we have to have a mask? And guys might do this. I've never been a man, so I don't know. But I know women will wear a mask, and we can be, well, I can brag on myself in swimming. And this is what Sean has helped me do, is to not have to wear a mask and be confident in who I am to the world. So I don't need a network marketing company.
Say again,
Say again?
Do you mean detaching yourself from different things and just thinking about you as a person?
Yeah, your greatness. Do you realize? Go ahead, Sean. Do you need to say?
No, go ahead. Do you realize that's an important statement?
Do you realize everything that's happening to you right now for you to be able to sit on this call? Cells are regenerating. Your eyes are functioning. Your heart is beating. Your lungs are breathing in oxygen and putting it all in your blood, and your blood's circulating around, and your brain is working, and your brain's taking all this in, and it's processing, and it's trying to figure out, where's the pattern from this East Texas woman, and is anything she's going to say going to kill me? And I don't know if I can understand this, and I don't know if I'm going to believe this. And you have all these things going. But if you sit and think, do you realize how amazing that is? Do you realize how phenomenally built you are? And to just sit here on an amazing piece of technology to be connected with all of us.
Yeah.
You're amazing when you flip your hair. You're amazing when you blink your eyes. You're amazing when you breathe in and you breathe out. In one breath, you've given carbon dioxide to anything that survives on carbon dioxide. So you breathe life. Do you realize that?
Yeah, I do now. After the dream and everything, it's really strange.
But, so you're playing small. Go ahead, Sean.
Jessica, let me ask you this. How long have you been coaching swimming?
9 years.
And what do you teach? Do you teach survival? Do you teach infants? Do you teach all kinds of, what do you teach?
Everyone, from babies to adults.
Okay. So what if I allowed you to use that experience for you to be one of the greatest conversationalists in the profession of networking? Has anybody taught you how to use your swimming as the greatest introductory conversation?
No, but
no. So let me awaken you a little bit. Do you have anybody that you follow in your business? Is there anybody in your business you call a mentor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to stop doing that. Here's why. Nobody has taken you on the journey of letting your current experience be your success. Let me give you an example. So for how many years have you been coaching swimming? 9 years, you said?
Yeah.
So for the past 9 years, I've spent my life and I've given my energy to help babies learn how to survive in one of the most horrific situations if they can't swim. I've given parents the chance to feel confident that if for some reason, unbeknownst to them, their child falls in an unsafe environment, usually a pool, they won't wind up at the bottom. And parents thank me for teaching their children. I teach parents who are afraid. I teach adults who are afraid to step in the water because it's the thing that they miss out on. They're not part of a joyful community. And you know what I finally realized? I get to take all of that experience and bring it to you right now. As an instructor of swimming, as somebody that's new that joins me in business, I won't let you drown. As somebody that's an adult in business that feels like you're not having fun with those around you, I'll teach you how to get back in the environment called taking care of yourself and have fun with those families around you. Listen, as a lifeguard and as a certified instructor that teaches people how to swim, is it okay if I and my team teach you how to swim and navigate the waters called trading? You can stand in confidence in that, can't you?
Yeah.
See, nobody has taught you that. Was that a tear you just wiped away?
Yeah.
That's because that's your true self. See, all of these people, and this is what frustrates me. This is why I do this call. This is why I'm here for 2.5 hours, is because Jessica shows up, and Jessica wants this more than most do. And she raises her hand and she sits there in joy and willing to shed a tear because nobody has given her a chance to use what she already has to stand strong in what she already does. Can you see how you're going to keep people from drowning in this business called network marketing? You have the most qualifications of anybody on this call, more than I, to keep people from drowning. And I love you for it. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
It might be the first time you feel like you can do this, doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah, it's strange.
It is strange. That's me. I am strange. And
I
my
love you,
point,
Jessica.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
and here's the thing, Jessica, this is what happens when we put our authority in other people. They take our authority away from us. What I did, my definition of a mentor is somebody that lets you walk away with their wisdom. I'm going to say this boldly. I qualify as a mentor of yours today because I let you walk away with my wisdom to take care of you, not take care of me, not build me a check, to use the story you already have, stand strong in the story you already know, and use the language you already know. Sometimes you're going to throw out, because they're drowning and they're just absolutely insane, you're going to throw out the buoy and let them grab onto that. You're not going to swim all the way over. You're going to jump down in the pool when the baby just couldn't figure out up from right and right from wrong. You're there no matter what. Just use that experience and relate it to everything in your business. Don't learn a script. You already have the greatest script. Keep people from drowning.
Okay.
I love you.
Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough.
Yes, you can. You can go keep people from drowning. Yay. This is why I love to do this. That one breakthrough. We've had many breakthroughs, but this is why it's like, okay, there's something here. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. And all of a sudden, it happens. Now we're going to get to hear from somebody who's had this amazing breakthrough in life. And every day I'm in awe and in honor of being able to call her a friend. Kayla Cortez, let's go to Panama.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Kayla. Oh, you're not doing your hair because I could hear your accent.
I finished.
Yes.
I guess that only counts when I'm doing it.
That's right. Hello, everybody. Who's that? Oh, I'm doing my hair.
Okay, I wrote down so many things because today session, it reminds me, it's like every single one of my steps I've been doing the last 18 months, 19 months now. Everything that's been happening today is like see myself, you know, months ago, a month ago, 18 months ago. Each one of you, everybody say here is like, oh my God, that's me. That was me. That one's still me. Stuff like that, right? So there is so many things I want to share, but it's too much in my mind right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead with what I can remember right now. And one thing I remember when I first start, and I see Sean, before I was honored to talk to Sean, right? Because I thought that was never going to be possible when I see him on stage, right? Many years ago. And I see him sometimes, every now and then I see him, for some reason I see him in Facebook or somewhere. I remember that was like 4 years ago. And I was in this other company, And I saw him with this product on his hand one day. One day I saw him with this product on his hand. And I was like, gosh, I never seen him with product on his hand, right? So I was like, I wonder if he's in this company or not. It was always in my mind. It was always wondering if he was in the company or he wasn't on the company. So I never knew. Some people say he was. Up to now, I still don't know if he was at that company or not. Up to now, right? And I don't want to know anyway. But but now that I have the honor to be with him, he's and I do call him a mentor, even though he just said, just don't call mentor some people. I mean, he is my mentor. And I'm going to tell you why he's my mentor. He's my mentor because he let me be me. One time I said, when I was first meeting him, I said, he said that he don't talk about compensation plan. I said, I bet you he's full of crap. I bet you that he does speak about compensation. He just wants us to think that he is really 100% of this law. I mean, and why I'm sharing this, because these things cross our mind. We just don't want to say those things, right? I probably wouldn't say 18 months ago, but I can say it now because I know him, right? And he can let me be me. And because he made me understand that this is me, and me talking like this is my story. This is how I build my business. Some people don't like it, so I guess those people are not going to be my team because they don't have that thing with me, because you're going to have haters and you're going to have people that love you. And those people that love you are the ones that are made to be with you. Not everybody's going to be with you. So how are you going to find out who want to be with you? Whenever you start to be you. Whenever you start to talk about, and then I realized that it's true. He don't talk about compensation plan. I mean, I was like, well, I guess he wasn't full of crap because he does not speak about compensation plan. However, I started to understand when he says, love people, it was hard for me. First of all, it was hard for me to start to love me. First of all, because that first thing that we did with the first girl, the Wonder Woman that stand up like this, right? I've been through that too. It was so hard for me to say, I love me. I mean, it took me long time for me to say, I really love myself, right? And I started to understand that if I don't love me, I wasn't going to be me. Because if I don't love me, why I want to be myself? Because I don't love me. So that's one of the main things, and I understand that for me, be me and really start to do the business the way Kayla is, I have to love me. Otherwise, I won't be me. That's why Sean teach me to love my story, no matter how it was, what story it was, because that's what I have. What he did to you about the swimming thing, I mean, people don't understand. Some people don't understand how I can love my story. With my story, I love people because I started to love me. I started to understand things that people don't understand, right? I started to understand things that I never understand, but I love me. And that's why I don't worry about telling no one, okay, and I'm just gonna try like this. Some people probably know, some people don't. But I don't feel shame of telling people, yes, I was a prostitute. Yes, I use drugs. I do cocaine. I don't feel shame to doing that because I love me and I love my story, and that's my story. Although I don't go out there doing like this, like I'm saying right now. I say, hey, I was a prostitute. Here I am. No, I don't go out there and say that, right? But I use my story. And the other thing I want to share is a lot of people teach me on the other company to talk about compensation plan, business plan, the strategy, the system, right? And I bring that to the company I'm at now. And I met Sean, and I started to learn all this thing. And at the beginning, I'm like, how I'm going to make money saying my story? I said, I'm not in no, I never had the courage to tell Sean this before, right? Now I know I do have the courage. But before I was like, how in the hell he want me to talk about my story when I have to make numbers? This man is really crazy, or he really have a lot of money, and he don't know that I don't have no money. He don't understand. I mean, and I have this fight, right? Because he keeps saying love, 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 and love, and love. And I'm like, I need to know the compensation plan because people need money. That's what I used to think, right? Now, one time I heard him talking about compensation plan. And then people started telling me in my company, Kayla, how you think you're gonna make money talking about love and this and that? You need to stop that. You need to go in the system. You need to do this. You need to talk about a plan. And I said, no. Well, I don't say it to them, right? I probably do say it now, but I didn't say it before. And I said to myself, no. Because if I don't love me, how I'm going to build a community? When you have a team, you want them to become a community. You don't want them to be just a number. You want them. And Sean said something today that I love when he said that to me before. The company you are right now, if something happened tomorrow or today and disappear, you're going to have to end up go tomorrow selling another company story. And a lot of people are going to leave you because you're telling the company story. But if you tell your story and the community that you built is in that community because of you, they're going to stay with you, with this company, with the next company, no matter what company comes, because they believe in your story. And no matter what your story is, there is no story better or bigger than the other one. That's just your story, and it's huge. And the people that are in the community with you is because they love your story and they learn to love their story, right? So you think they want to go and move with somebody else's story or move with some company's story? They know what you've been through, whatever it is, whatever your story is, they know. So I understand what Sean meant by not talking about, right now, I remember when Sean said, I don't even know the compensation plan. I said, yeah, right, you probably know how much this and how much the front line. I believe him now that he probably don't even know. And I know, for a fact I know, because sometimes I can something and I have to explain to him. So, but I'm saying this is because it's true. Listen, when I receive my pay every week, now I don't even know how much I'm gonna get. All I know, I'm gonna get paid. Because I know what I'm doing is making people love themselves more and be with me, and they will stay with me. We are in this network marketing, and you know that whoever wants to know about business, about money, they will find their way to find out how to make that money when it comes to compensation plan. You don't have to talk about that. You don't have to. Plus, in network market, it's always going to be a meeting about compensation plan. It's always going to be somebody out there talking about that. It's always going to be a video. It's always going to be someone out there that is talking about compensation plan. And the person will find out this is not a secret for no one. You don't have to go out there and talk about compensation plan. You know what? Sean, and I wrote down there, he was talking about, I don't know how he did it, but he just did an example. And I wrote down there, there go his compensation plan. He talked about compensation plan, and you not even notice it. Probably some didn't notice it. He put money inside your mind without talking about, and you will earn this by doing this and doing that. And probably some people not even notice it, but whoever is in front of us, Sean or me or whoever is loving people, we will, with our story, we will talk about the compensation plan without talking about it. Because when I tell someone that 18 months ago, I have no floor, I had no bathroom, I had whole bathroom, not sanitary bathroom, right? Well, at least I didn't have to flush anything. Now I have to flush, right? Let's look at the good part of it. Plus, I never see my doo-doo. Now I see it, right? Before it just gone.
That's going on a shirt.
That's the best statement right there, Kayla.
My life is improving because I can now see my doo-doo and flush it.
Exactly.
Join me.
That's my story right there. Do you imagine someone out there that is not flushing their thing right now? That got no floor. You don't think that's my compensation plan? That's right there, my compensation plan. Because 18 months later, I go out there with this virus thing going on. I go out there and buy 20, 30, 40 bags of food of $20 and give away. This is the girl that have no toilet, how you say, bathrooms, I don't know how you say that, toilet, I guess. Girl have no floor. You see what's right here? I mean, I didn't have none of this. I didn't have tiles on my walls. I didn't have that mirror there. I didn't have none of those things right there. That's my compensation plan. I stopped talking about, as a matter of fact, I forgot my compensation plan. I forgot because people, and I don't worry about it. And there are people in the company tell me, Kayla, but you don't talk about it. I said, no, I don't have to. And some people still telling me, you're not gonna make it. Still. They still gonna tell me they're not gonna make it because I don't talk about compensation plan. Because I don't talk about the product. If you go on my Instagram, my Facebook, you don't see Kayla showing none of my product. And I'm a nutritionist. It's hard for me to not talk about my product or showing it, but I understand that the business is not right there. I can give information that I know it will help people. But I mean, God bless the company I'm at. And I'm so grateful with this company. God knows that. But if something happened, I don't have to, I'm not even worried about that because if something happened, I know the community I build because I learned that I have to love me first, then love my story. Then I can love people, right? So that's why when somebody comes to me and tells me, you're not going to stop talking about your story, stop, I say no. But you know why I can say no now? I can say no now because I love myself, because nobody make me feel bad now. I can say no and not even worry about it because I love my story. I can say no now and say I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I know what I want to do. I know what kind of community I want. I know. I don't want to see 5,000 person out there just saying, yes, Kayla made me understand that. No, I know what I want. I know what kind of woman I want to help. When I learned that, I started to raise mine from my Facebook because Sean, you lucky, you there, Bob, Charlie, right? Everybody's like, okay, you guys can stay, you know, but that's because I know what I want, right? And I love myself for wanting that. So, I mean, there was so many things because I went through all these days that I see, oh, you going like in one session today. It's like, that was me, that was me, that was me. I know how I feel because I have people still telling me, stop talking about your story, right? I have people telling me you need to learn your compensation plan. And I said, now I know that John is not full of crap. So I say, if he don't talk about the compensation plan, well, I'm going to talk about compensation plan, right? And I don't. Because I finally understand about me loving more, me laughing more, and me all those things that he always come out with. Yeah, I understand that now. So I just want to share that because I feel this thing inside me. I say, I have to talk today. I have to talk today. Because I've been there, felt that, and sometimes we've been in this industry that we think to make millions of dollars, we have to talk about million money. Sean always say, sometimes he talk about our pictures, like this, like that. People don't want that. That's something that will come now and will leave tomorrow. Because if you show there something artificial, something that you're really not, the day that you don't, God save us, but if someday you lose everything and you're not able to come out with those pictures, trust me, it's gonna be worse because people are gonna say, that's the person that, what happened to him? What happened to her? Isn't that the person who said that of the million and this and what happened now? But when people know your story, even if you fall down again, people will stay with you. Because people will say, that's a woman right there that been through so much. That's a woman there that stand up and fight for it and make it. And she fall now, but I know she's gonna raise again. So people will stay with you even if you drop down, even if you fall down, people are gonna stay with you. And they won't talk bad about you. They will say, if she made it before, she's gonna make it now, and she's gonna keep making it. So I stay with this woman.
Come on, girl. Come on, Kayla. I can't hold it back. Girl, you freaking on fire.
Preach. I learned that from you. See, I'm learning English here too. So
I love you.
I love you too. So yes, I mean, I get this. I mean, look at my way of talking 18 months ago. That wasn't me. But do you know why I talk like this now? Because now I'm not even thinking about if somebody's liking what I'm saying or not. I know somebody out there needs to hear this. Maybe one person, or maybe just me. See? But I know I don't worry about, and I still have probably some, how you say that, Sean, with addiction to approval. I do have that sometimes still, right? Because but I'm learning more to talk, to say this, to say that, right? And so that's what I want to share, because to me also it's something like, wow, we all go through this. It's like how that person made it. Trust me, we've been through the same feelings because we don't learn knowing all these things, right? And I want to share this because whenever, and I know that's coming soon, right? Whenever I become that 100 million woman, right? Are you probably going to say, shoot, she's lucky. I've been through the same thing. So the same thing you guys been through. I'm 47 years old, right? And I always gonna say this to this group. I wish I had back then on my 20 years old, somebody like Sean saying all these things to me. Somebody like me saying these things to you. Somebody like Rhonda saying these things to us. But for some reason it wasn't there. So that's fine, and I love that. But You guys have to really, really not just say that from your mouth out and appreciate this. I mean, really from your heart inside. And I don't want to finish this without telling Julian, I don't know if she's still here, Julian, that says that her parent ignored her when she said, Sean made her say something to her parents. I don't know if she's still here.
Julie.
But she's not here. Huh? She left?
Yeah, Julie said it. I don't know if she's probably not here, but yes.
Okay, but okay, it's fine. I mean, I do want to say for everybody, because I know there is a lot of young people here. Trust me, your parents are not ignoring you. Maybe we act. I have a 21 years, 21 or 20, I think it's 21. I kind of forgot. But even if we forgot our kids' age, that don't mean that we don't love them. We're not ignoring you guys. I mean, you know how much I pray for me to sometimes hear that from and I know they love me, but sometimes they think because I know they don't have to tell me that. Maybe we don't know how to react to those words, but trust me, we hear those words loud, even though we don't say nothing. And there is one thing on my story. My mom was at the hospital for 11 months with cancer, and I was already doing network marketing. And that gave me the opportunity to be 11 months in the hospital with her, right? And that's a story right there, compensation plan, right? But that's a story too, right? Because anybody hear you that and say, shit, how she was inside there with 11 months, And that's right there, compensation plan. But what I want to say is, when I was there, one thing that my mom said to me, she said, Kayla, you know why I'm gonna rest in peace? Because no matter all the things that you went through, you always told me you loved me. You probably had some things inside. And she said, I'm sorry. And I said, no. She said, let me say it. Don't quiet me. I'm still in bed, but I still your mom. I'm still alive. I love you. I love you because when I thought that you would never say you love me, you always said it. And I'm going to rest in peace. And I want you to be in peace when I'm gone, because everything you did in your life while I was alive, it was for not have no regret when I'm gone. And she said, I'm sorry to me. And I wasn't expecting, but she wanted to say that. And when my mom died, I was wondering why I didn't feel like crying so bad and this and that, because I was in peace. Because I told my mom, and I knew I was there. I knew I told everything to my mom when she was alive. So even though you don't find, and my mom was an affective person. She never hugged me. She never said, I love you. Never. Never. She never. But when she was laying there, she said, every single time that you said you loved me, I couldn't show you physically, but you got no idea how much that made me feel and means to me. And I don't know how it happened, but I raised a good woman. And that made me feel, I had nothing in my mind now that she's gone that I say, I wish I would have done this. I wish, nothing. And I want to say this because you guys are 20, 19, 21. For not one moment, Sean always tell us every morning to go out there and send people love. Don't forget that your parents are also people. Your parents, even though they don't react, even though probably they will say sometimes, oh, what happened? What do you want? Right? They still love to hear those words for you. So that's what I got to say. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Sean, for being in my life.
Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Hang
Kayla.
on, Sean. Hang on, Sean. This is the perfect example as to why I chase Sean with every waking moment, because that's the kind of mentorship. That's what this man provides. That's how he changes your life. That's where he allows you to show up. He takes you broken. He takes you confused. He takes you scared. He takes you pissed off. He takes you angry. He takes you ready to kill somebody or ready to kill yourself. He takes you. He loves you. He helps you rewire your brain. And he produces what God intended to show up, a beautiful, miraculous creature that will love others and pay it forward. Sean Murphy, that right there is because of your heart. And that right there is what's influencing 600 generation. And that, my sweet friend, is freedom. And I am so thankful God allowed me to cross your path. You will be hard pressed to get away from me, man. You need to know that. You are loved. You are a light in this world. And you are valuable beyond measure. And I love you.
I love you too, Rhonda. And I love you, Kayla. Thank you both for being a miracle in my life. And that's what we do. Kayla, you are this woman that I am in awe of every single day. And I'm just so grateful I have you to keep me on my path. I love you, girl. Woo! And who'd have thought that was how we wind up today? But this is how they get better every day. It's because we all get to be here. So there's 39 of you here right now. That I hope impacted you. I don't know anybody that hears Kayla talk that says, well, that's 10 minutes I'll never get back. That's 10 minutes that change your life. These are the souls that are in the planet. These are the souls that were looked over. These are the people who thought they had to do something to get somewhere. Just be you. I sat on the rooftop. I don't even remember what country, Costa Rica or Panama. We sat on a rooftop after our first event, all in honor and joy and leaders high-fiving. It was an amazing event. And I sat next to this beautiful woman in this white jacket with this black shirt. And I leaned up next to her and I kind of shoulder to shoulder bumped her. And she's kind of like, what's he doing here? What's this? I said, you are amazing. And you're special. And she's like, who told you what and what story you got going on? And I could just hear it in her head, but I also heard her heart. I didn't know her story. I didn't know all of the things that she shared with many of us now. But isn't she amazing? Isn't she incredible? Sometimes if we see them for the light that shines, not the light they're hiding, people get a chance to fall back in love with themselves. Thank you for being a misfit, Kayla. And thank you for fitting in here. Woo! Well, there you go, y'all. Now, if you ask me what I do, that's what I do. Ask me why I do it, that's why I do it. Because I get to. I'm Sean Murphy, founder of Mental Profits. I get to see y'all where? At the next event. Y'all send some love to each other.
I love y'all.
Gracias.
Bye, y'all.
You guys, I love you guys. I love you guys.
Love everybody.
I love you guys.
Thank you so
Y'all
much.
be safe. Have a great day.
Thank you. Love you. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy birthday to Bob.
Happy Cinco de
Thank
Mayo.
you
Cinco
so
de Mayo.
much.
Love you guys. Thank you so
Happy
much.
You guys.
Thank
Oh, happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you,
birthday, Bob.
everyone, and love you, everyone.
We love
Happy
you.
birthday again,
Have a
Bob.
great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everybody. Love you guys.
Stay blessed.
Stay blessed.
Love you all.